It all started with just a vote, a single choice in a sea of millions. And suddenly, people we loved vanished. Godparents to our children, lifelong friends, all gone with just a click, with a comment, with silence. That's when the seed was planted. Don't Unfriend Me wasn't just a name, it was a plea, a line in the sand, a refusal to let politics tear apart what humanity once held so sacred. We didn't set out to build a movement. We set out to tell the truth, even when it hurt. Long hours, lost sleep, more setbacks than anyone will ever see. There were days it felt like we were shouting into the void, but we kept showing up. Not for clicks, not for clout, but because this matters. We pushed through the doubt, the algorithm throttling, the shadow bans, the isolation, the nights we sat at the mic with empty inboxes and broken spirits. And still, we stayed. We persevered, because we knew there was something here worth fighting for. For years, thousands of hours, laughter, heartache, raw conversations with real people, and now, it all leads to this. One night, one room, one moment. We can agree, we can disagree. You can love me, or you can hate me. Just don't unfriend me. It all starts right now.
Do you want the truth? Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, stop unfriend me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up on the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's new.
We'll test this, okay? Oh, hello there. Come closer. No, closer. Thank you. It's wonderful to see you here today. Just a little light reading. I want to show you something. Right here. The Don't Unfriend Me show. Closer. Can you see it? That's right. The Don't Unfriend Me show. In rock and soul. Save your soul by picking it up today. Thank you. And be cool, like the Don't Unfriend Me show.
It's Red Friday. RED Friday, which stands for Remember Everyone Deployed. A movement designed to honor veterans and deployed U.S. troops by wearing a red shirt every Friday. As simple as that may be, Red Friday is a great way to back those who serve our country. Go to dumbshow.com and search for Red Friday to get your red on.
What is going on, everybody? I think, if I'm not mistaken, we're at 82 on the signatures for the usafacts.org. I'm so excited. I mean, we're so close. They are extending it, and we're going to keep going. So if you don't know what this is about taking data and ensuring that your taxpayer dollars, you're getting information in a fast and timely manner from the U.S. government. They are signing a petition and sending a letter. The letter is below, scrolling right below me. Please, if you have not had a chance to go and sign this, it would mean the world to me if you would. And now back to our regularly scheduled program. Red Friday, folks. Good to have everybody in the house. And we'll be right there.
Adjusting transmitter output. This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Hey, Liv, what's going on?
Hi.
What is up?
Would you like to come in and have a beer?
Hey, what? It's fancy
Come
seeing
on
you.
in.
It's fancy seeing you
I
here.
know. Come on in.
So
have a
we
beer.
have a beer. Oh my, hi, honey.
Hi.
Wow, good to see you. I didn't expect to see you here tonight. So I looked over and there you were, and it was wow, such a shocker. Welcome, Pocahontas. What a
Jeez.
crazy ass. Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show, folks. Trying to do a little bit of housekeeping here. And making sure that I'm getting everything done. Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. We got a good show tonight. Liv's going to walk you through it. Who's here?
Yes. All right.
Coming up in the near future.
Yes. Next Tuesday is Lisa Regina. Still waiting on if her Joe Montana is going to be in the house. Next Friday is Barry Morgenstein, which we always look forward to. Following Tuesday, the 28th, John David Gregory will be here. July 31st is Christopher Martini.
Wow.
August 5th is Tyler Fisher, and then that Friday, August 7th, is Damani Felder. And I just got word Ryan reached out to a friend of his that works with the Warrior Shield Foundation,
Which we might be attending and going down to in Florida and going to that concert.
And he just emailed me back, and he will be on the show sometime in August. We just have to narrow down a date.
Perfect time. 10
traveling.
seconds away. Outstanding. $300 on the board, folks. We hit goal in 3 minutes. 3 minutes last night. How fast was it?
That was huge. It was like
Bam,
20
bam, bam.
minutes.
Bam,
It was
bam,
like
bam.
20 minutes
Just
instead.
bam, 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 bam. We hit goal so quick. So we're going to try to do the same thing tonight. Overtime is on the board. Overtime means that if we hit goal, $300 before 9 o'clock, we stay for an extra half hour. So that's always exciting. We're wearing some new shirts, folks.
Yay.
Oh, we're so excited. We're so excited. Like, we saw these, and I don't think the Universal Smile has been that I don't know, big in a while. Liv, tell them
Oh,
what
it's awesome. I walked out to take Hayden to work, and I saw a big box on our patio, and I was like, oh my gosh, our shirts are here. I was so excited.
And people's jackets. So yes, Olivia in all her glory, in her beautiful Go Max Retard shirt. This is the Go Max Retard shirt. We're proudly wearing it. It doesn't matter where we go. We're going to be wearing this to shame all of those day drinking wino Karens who support Candace Owens because they are Go Max retards.
Yes.
This shirt looks so good. Like, it looks so good. It's muy bien. We're very happy.
Muy bien. Muy
We're
guapo.
muy guapo. We hope you're happy about us being happy. We got a good show. Let's get going. We got a whole bunch to do. So once again, we goal is overtime by 9:30. We expect to hit it early, and we will get started early. I want to start off with something I came across. Keely Novello. I really had no idea who Keely was, and started listening to some of her stuff. And it's a little bit different for me because this is about American farms, hydropower versus nuclear power, environmentalism and stuff like this. And I know we have a lot of farmers on here, a lot of ag people. We have people who have cattle. I know we have people who have crops who watch the show quite a bit and are involved in this. So I figured we would try to cover this. And I thought her presentation style was really strong, just matter of fact. And I know she's done some interviews with Steve Hilton and a few others, and she's just a kind of up and comer. So I always like to try to help the up and comers. So you can find her. I put a lower thirds. That's an actual upper thirds in her video. And I figured we would listen to it and create some good dialogue kind of to start it off. So here it is.
Nuclear and hydro are about as steady and clean as it gets, and we ought to be building them here in the United States. And we should produce our own energy right here under our own environmental standards, which are some of the strictest on Earth, instead of importing it from places that answer to nobody. That's not a choice between the planet and prosperity. Done right, it's how you get both. Action over activism. You don't fix a problem by arguing about it online. You fix it, we fix it by getting after it. So that's the whole message. Take care of yourself this summer. Take care of your animals. Take care of the ground, the land that you always care for. that you are the best stewards of, that you know better than anybody. And don't let anybody tell you that you have to surrender how you live to do it. I am a big believer in finding solutions, in building the future that you want to live in, because the future is coming whether you like it or not.
Ain't
We
that the
might as
truth?
well be the ones to build it. The future belongs to those who build it. And I know that we all want to be part of that for our kids, for ourselves, and for the betterment of this country and our neighbors. Your whole livelihood rides on it. Your whole livelihood depends on and lives and dies with the health of your land. Leaving a place better than you found it is not a bumper sticker.
Liv. She's using my slogan.
She is.
I
better than you found it.
I got a new crush. I've been saying that for 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
You leave it better than you found it. We tell the kids that. We just talked to Ethan about that. You got everything. It doesn't matter. You own your shadow. You own everything within that 6-foot circle, and anything that you leave there, you then accept. Whatever you take into your eyes and do not reject or repudiate, you take into your heart. I believe that. You own your shadow area. So leave it better than you found it. It's what we do when we go to restaurants, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
taught our kids from the day they were sitting in high chairs at restaurants with us.
yeah. Clean, pick up. We wipe down tables. We take trash up. Now, there's certain restaurants you can't do that, like a Benihana's or a fine dining restaurant. But we would always, no matter where we ate, we would always ask for the dustpan and the broom, and we would go under and clean under our table. Mm-hmm. And we try to leave things better than we found it. And I think it's such an important message, and extending that to Mother Earth. Now, we're not a bunch of environmentalists here, but we are. Republicans care about clean water. We care about clean energy. We care about the land that we live on. And the reason why is we usually, as a group of people, own more than the Democrats do. They rent their properties. They don't necessarily, in the inner cities, have that luxury to buy these beautiful flats, and it's expensive. So they're pushed into the suburbs. And yes, a lot of Democrats own homes. I'm not saying that. But my point is the land that they have are little small 600, 800 foot lots. And when you get out into the rural area, you own acreage, and it's our job to preserve and take care of the land. So I love that. Love that.
Yeah. And I think becoming energy efficient, not energy dependent, is what we need to be.
Right.
And it needs to be under our standards and our regulations, not, what are we bringing into our country that another country doesn't have the regulations that we require and we have here.
Yeah.
I would rather the world rely on us for energy than vice versa.
Sure. Because that's what it's going to come down to. We've seen this. An entire world war was initiated by Japan from that side in the South Pacific because of an energy blockade and embargo that we put on Japan. And it was absolutely warranted, but it created and put Japan in a situation where they felt that they had no choice. Liv, don't feel free to put those in. I love the momentum, just getting goal right away. Okay. And we've got people who are putting money in right away. Let's do it. Let's see. Right away, we got. You haven't done it yet. Oh, Liv's taking forever. Let's watch some more of this.
Oh no, it's in the window's not in.
Okay, then you got to tell me that, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. I'll go back and I'll read it.
It was Courtney to do. I saw that. I think it was 103.49.
It was 103.48. She said, "This is for Madame Spear to make her feel special. I do need help with some merchandise, though."
We've got you, Courtney. We'll get you after the show, and thank you for your donation.
Yes.
Literally 1/3 of our overtime goal. Let's reset the old thermometer. And, whoops, we don't want to reset it that far. That's too far. Let's bring this down a little bit. And we will go to right here. I would say that we might have something special for goal. That's all I'm going to say. I can't say anymore. Olivia has forbade me from saying anything else. So let's see, 33% in. The thermometer is growing. Oh, even more. JD Stillwell giving a whopping 10%. 10% down. Last day of vacation, back to the grind. Have a safe and happy weekend. Thank you, JD.
Hope
folks.
You had a great vacation, JD.
Yeah, just like that, we literally just crushed a big, large portion of gold. Thank you, folks. 103.48 is where we're at. Here's the rest of this great video by Keely. Let's listen to this, and then we'll have some more commentary.
Rural American West. That's how we were raised. So what do you actually do about the heat? Well, self-reliant people don't wait to be rescued. They prep, they adapt, they build the fix.
Yep.
Some of those solutions may look like regenerative grazing, and rotating your herd so the ground keeps its cover and its moisture. We know that a well-managed pasture runs cooler and holds water better than bare dirt. We know that cattle ranching is part of the solution, and we know that it's part of what keeps the West thriving and whole. It's part of the ecosystem out here. Around the house, those solutions look like shade, a tighter build, backup power, planning the hard work for the cool hours, and checking on the older neighbors down the road. And in the big picture, this is where American ingenuity ought to shine the most. Clean, reliable, powerful energy that doesn't leave us at anyone's mercy. Now, I'll be straight with you guys like I always am. The second heat comes up, everybody wants to drag it into the usual fight and quit listening. I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to fake a certainty that I don't personally have about every cause and every cure. But some things aren't complicated. And one of those things is nobody and no corporation should be allowed to poison our food, foul our air, or cut corners with our kids' health and leave the rest of us to pay for it. That's not left, that's not right, that is decency. And on a hot, still day, the air quality really does get worse, which is tough on little kids. It's tough on old.
It's been horrible here, and not just the
yeah.
Canadian fires, right?
I mean, every once in a while, but yeah, it's the Canadian fires. Finally, the smoke finally got to us.
Thanks a lot, Canada.
Yeah. Well, I'm amazed it took so long because Jane was saying that the air was horrible down in South Virginia. And I'm like, how did it get down there and not here? Because we're north. But anyway, it finally hit us, and man, the air sucks right now. Couldn't take the kids to the park today.
Yeah.
Ethan couldn't take the dog for a walk, and Ash is going freaking crazy.
Yeah,
because we've been in a heat wave, and she can't go outside right now.
But you have to take precautions, and we do, and you make sure you draw the blinds and draw the shades. You have the AC on, obviously. You want to make sure your filters are changed because you don't want to be taking in bad air, little things like that. But, if you go for a walk, try to do it in the early morning, try to do it later in the day. You don't want to take your animals out, have them go to the restroom. If they're a once or twice restroom a day, do it at night, do it during the day. It's not hard. Make sure you have shade, make sure you have water. But when it comes to animals, this is a really big issue for farmers. I mean, most of them have, over the top lean-to style places to put their cattle. And yes, they can bring them in, but I don't think large producers can bring in 3,000 head of cattle. So where do you put them? Well, you got to make sure you have shaded areas. You got to make sure they have plenty of water. You got to make sure they have plenty of food because you're going to be burning more calories. All of these things are important. So, I don't know anything about ag, but I know the basics to understand is that heat is bad. And I've seen enough veterans under some pretty oppressive sun and how we have to treat them in special accommodations for hydration. And I can't imagine farmers having to do it for animals. It's got to be a bear. I moved the overtime clock. Good call, by the way. It's off the video. And then plus it was a very precarious position for Keely. And I certainly don't want to do that. So I moved.
Only your mind.
It wasn't
go
me.
to that
I didn't
gutter.
say it. It was somebody else who said it. It wasn't me.
People, anybody with asthma or weak lungs or a health issue of any kind, caring about that is not joining a movement. It's being a good neighbor. And I do want to push back on something while I'm here, while we're on this topic, because it always gets under my skin, as you know, if you follow me. There's this idea out there that caring about the land, the water, the air is some urban cause invented 30 years ago.
No, it's
and
not.
that is backwards.
It
The
is.
farmer and the rancher are the original conservationists. Nobody has to teach a person who works the land to mine the soil in the sky.
That's right. That's a great point. Because when you think about that, tilling the earth and then replacing the nutrients in the earth is required. I mean, you can't just keep replanting and resowing over the same soil over and over and over and over and over. And you have to. Why did I go through a micro machine? What the hell just happened to my?
No, I'm up for some reason.
No, it's not that you're up. You're like you just look like a gargantuan woman there. Well, that's fine. I mean, it's kind of hot. People, Amazonian women are très chic.
Yeah, so far from that. I'm
well,
so short.
In that picture you weren't. You look like you were 6'4", and I was 5'2". That's okay. Speaking of air quality, they found hydrogen cyanide in the samples taken during that warehouse fire here in my town and during the 4 times it reignited. I was trying to tell Ethan today a concept. First of all, if you have not had a chance to go and follow Keely, I like her stuff. I happened upon her and I was like, well, I think I'll share her stuff. I like the video. So it's at America Un1 over on Instagram. Go over and follow her. And good luck in her future. Hopefully she'll come on the show sometime. We'll see if she will. She'll see the tag and say, well, I know the shirts, man. Aren't they awesome? Go Max Retard. I know. She might not now. She'll be like, wow, these guys are over the top. Anyway, I was talking to Ethan today, and I was trying to explain something to him, and it's a concept I think I'm going to write a book on. Michael Weismer says, I have COPD and can only handle limited outdoors. Mike, that sucks.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, buddy, I'm sorry about that. Especially during this heat. Just stay healthy, stay hydrated, stay indoors. Just enjoy some air conditioning and some reading of a book or hobbying or something else. So what I was trying to explain to Ethan, and you had a chance to hear a little bit about it,
yeah,
is something I've been working on. And you see a lot of books, and one of them is every action has a cost. And we're not talking about thermodynamics or theory of relativity of equal and opposite reactions or anything. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about every action has a cost. It doesn't matter what the action is. If you want to take 10 steps, there is an action to that, and there's a cost to that. It costs energy. It costs time. It costs effort. It costs mental effort to move your body, get up and move 10 steps, and then whatever. There's a cost to everything. If you want to go and pound a extra large, 20 by 20 pizza, there's an action to that, but there is also a cost. And we're describing self-cost, right? It's things you take out of your own bank. If you pound a 20 by 20 pizza, it's going to take a lot of effort. It's going to take a lot of stomach. It's going to take a lot of energy to digest that food. You're probably going to feel sick from it. You're not seriously going to probably be able to go run a marathon afterwards. And there's going to be some, if it's continued, degenerative failure to your body and damage to your body. And then, of course, the cost of the pizza, right? But that's kind of self-indeterminate cost by anyone else's perception but your own. You can give implied costs. Like you can look at that and say, well, if you ate a giant pizza, what would that person's ultimate cost of to them would be? But we don't understand every single internal struggle a person has. But what I'm trying to teach him is that, yes, leaving a wrapper stuffed between the couch cushions and a plate, when we've had a conversation 10 million times, there's a cost to you. You had to make a cost to a choice that cost you your honor and integrity of breaking another promise. You made a conscious effort to do that. Did it actually cost more energy to go ahead and hide that, the anxiety that created in you, that decision you made, than just going up and throwing it in the trash can when you were going to go upstairs anyway? But not only that, what was the cost to other people? And when your mom sees that and she's, straightening up the couch and she sees her beautiful love seat leather couch has, cheese and crackers and stuff stuffed into it, how do you think that makes her feel that her son, once again, lied to her? When dad comes downstairs and sees it and he gets grumpy and then bites Hayden's head off at the same time, how do you think that makes Hayden feel, and what was the cost to her? Every action has a cost, and it's an indeterminate amount of cost based upon your perception of others, but not really truly understanding what it's costing them. And if you start to change the way you think and realize that everything I do is going to have an impact, it's going to have a cost applied to it, and I don't understand unless I consciously make that decision to think and put myself in others' positions, these are costs that you're probably not willing to pay. More importantly, when you make a decision, especially a bad decision, the other cost to this effect is making indecision or no decision at all is sometimes worse than making the decision. For instance, Ethan is having a hard time talking to us and he won't come up and tell us he's sorry and he won't own it. That indecision is costing him more than just possibly getting his butt hurt feelings hurt even more, or getting rejected by us is worse because it's driving wedges between our relationship. It's making my wife and I have conversations that are strenuous that we don't want to have about our child. So inactivity, some people might think they might be saving themselves from paying the price, but ultimately they're going to pay a bigger price in the end. And then lastly, this whole theorem is you want to save up your overall spending on the decisions you make, because there will come a time that you will have to pay a cost, and it will be so large that ultimately it might be the last one you make. And the best way that I did was give him the 13 hours of Benghazi and Bub and Glenn and Woods going into this situation where, for a friend who you served on the SEAL teams with, went through buds with, was your swim buddy, that you are going to come to hell or high water and be there with him. And you made a decision, you made a choice, and it has a cost, and you could have stayed home and been inactive. He could have stayed where he was at, but he didn't. He pushed there. He got a convoy of vehicles to go and save his friend, and he went up there, and the cost wound up being his life, but what he did not spend was his honor. And he wound going there and died. But to him, the cost of that was worth it. And the sitting back and doing nothing was the ultimate price he wasn't willing to pay, of losing his honor and integrity. So I think it's a really strong concept of how people can change the way they think, how they can act, and change their life. Now, I'm not perfect at it. I mean, I make withdrawals in people all the time. And I make decisions that cost more than I want them to. And that's just being a human being. The other side of this is I also used examples of like relationships with Barry Morgenstein or Chris Tonto Peranto, or anybody who we build relationships, Ryan Weaver, is that when you find other people who live this way, and it's really firemen, policemen, veterans, they get it. Is that once you start recognizing the cost of your actions, you start living vicariously through others' happiness. And when you can do something that makes them happy, whether it be a stupid video for Barry or him sending me a Franklin Mint statue, you get addicted to that. You get addicted to taking and making deposits into other people's banks, which gives them more capital to make better decisions and recognize the cost of their actions. Just a concept. You had a chance to hear a little bit about it. Sorry it took so long to explain it. I want to get your thoughts on it.
No, it's definitely, it's a great way of explaining it. So he hopefully will take that, disseminate it, or whatever that word is.
That's right, disseminate.
Disseminate. And think about it and hopefully act on it, because he's needed something. And I figured that the 10-minute talks on the way home from school with Pastor Jack would kind of nudge him in the right direction.
Yeah, and I think it's helped.
And I mean, he's representing us and our name very, very well right now.
Yeah.
He is. I'm getting glowing emails from his teachers about how he is a natural leader, how he's participating in everything, that the other kids are following him, and that he's just a pleasure to have in class right now. Yeah. And he's doing great. He's unfortunately failing at home and owning up to what he did and the bad decisions he made that put him here in the first place. I think that's
shame. Like, I think he's embarrassed and he's ashamed, and he doesn't know how to, like, it's kind of like the girl that you have a crush on or a boy you have a crush on, and they don't reciprocate your feelings, and you don't know how to tell them how you feel without sounding like you're a stalker, you know?
Yeah.
So you're trying to, like, say the right thing, but all you're doing is mucking it up and making it worse. When if you just would leave the situation alone, you think it'll get better. And that's my point. Sometimes inaction is a cost you're not willing to pay, because the more acquiesce we become to his apologetic fervor that doesn't take place, the more resistant we become to it when it does. And he doesn't understand that. Yeah. This is where he has to understand the cost. The dollar signs are clicking. He's spending capital, and he doesn't know that, because he thinks if I just don't do anything, it'll get better. And that's the worst. Inaction is one of the highest cost things you can do, is literally no activity at all.
Well, you also said last night when we talked that maybe it's a little self-deprecation.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Like Opus Dei.
Yeah, because I think he's trying to keep himself somewhat miserable so he remembers not to do it.
Yeah, it's a penance.
I think he's making him do that, because last night we're like, let's use the gift card we got from Kimberly for Sweet Frog, and I was going to go get Sweet Frog, and I said, okay, I will get you Sweet Frog, and he goes, no, I don't think I need any.
Yeah.
That's like, okay, dude. So he's keeping himself from doing anything.
It's almost like he's putting himself through a chastity or a, Lent or self-punishment, self-deprecation, because that's what guilt does, is people feel I'm not worth it. And you got to be careful with that, because then you lower his value and his own self-esteem, where he thinks he's a piece of shit and just is never going to be a good human being. And that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is you're a wonderful person. We love you. You're handsome, you're smart, you're intelligent, you're athletic, you're all the things that we're looking for. But it doesn't matter how many of those things are true. Lying and creating hardships on yourself from laziness contradicts all those other good things that you put. So, yeah. So we're working on it. So I don't know, but I'm like, people keep saying book, and I'm getting there. Go ahead, babe.
You're getting there.
I want to say thank you, Mel Lowe. Thank you, Mel. Overtime is growing.
To help buy some border smoke prevention fans. Yes, ma'am. We need them.
We're right there. I love the new thing with gold. This is beautiful. Like, we get there and we hit it and we just get the hell out, pop smoke and keep doing the show. Here is something that we showed a little bit last night, and then President Trump so rudely interrupted our broadcast.
How dare him.
I don't understand what his problem is. It's not like, he had a lot of people broadcasting his stuff, so he needed us, obviously. So we were acquiesced and said, sure. Here is the video I was showing you, that there is a prominent theologian here, and he does great work. He's a very intelligent man. He goes around on campuses, and he kind of does what Charlie does, but it's with God. And even though Charlie interlaced God into his conversations, it wasn't his primary focus, even though it was his primary filter of how to respond. This guy specifically has people challenge him on scripture and helps them bridge the gap in their inability to demonstrate the faith required in order to believe, and uses logic and deductive reasoning, which is absolutely imperative when you are building a relationship with Christ. You need logic. You need to have your doubts. You need to have your challenges. Blind faith is never a good thing. But there does come a point where divine faith is achieved through intelligence. And I can't understand people who belittle intelligence and think that people who believe in God they're stupid. It takes a lot of intelligence to help yourself understand that faith is achievable when you are a person of logic. So this is really an interesting point. It's talking about Candace, how husband and wife are struggling because she loves Candace and he doesn't, and he's tried everything. He's tried conversation, he's tried to be frustrating, he's tried to learn her points of view, and it's causing a bridge in their marriage. So I figured you and I could look at this and then provide our advice, okay?
Yeah.
All right, here it is.
I'm writing because I'm at a point of desperation, and I'm hoping you might offer some biblical wisdom or practical advice. My wife and I are both Christians, but over the past several months, she has become deeply influenced by Candace Owens' recent content regarding you, Israel, and a number of broader conspiracy-related topics. She has come to believe that you are dishonest and you are a false teacher, and even that you are involved in criminal wrongdoing. She also believes that there are vast hidden forces controlling world events, governments, media.
Brenda Shepard, 404. Let's get this over with. Thank you, Brenda. That's a 404 is an internet error, if I'm not mistaken. Okay.
Who is this guy?
I'll tell you after the video. Let's watch the video first.
In churches. From everything I've studied over the years, I've reached a very different conclusion. I continue to believe you are sincerely serving Christ through apologetics. Well, I don't think any human being is beyond criticism. I know I'm certainly not. I have not seen credible evidence to support the accusations that are being made against you. What concerns me most isn't simply that we disagree. It's that these beliefs have become central to our conversations and are creating an ever-widening divide in our marriage. Almost every discussion eventually returns to these subjects, and it has become increasingly difficult to have peaceful conversations. Let me pause right here. It reminds me of the proverb that talks about one of the things God hates, and that's someone who causes dissension among the brothers. All right, let me continue. I've tried listening carefully. I've tried asking questions.
And like Flynn, Brian Ellis coming in with a sweeping $100. Happy Friday. Thank you, Brian.
Sir.
And if I'm not mistaken, folks, that puts us all the way at the top. And you know what that means, Liv?
I do know what that means. Anticlimactic. Let's see if it works now.
I had this all set up.
I know you did.
It was beautiful. It was, oh well. Thank you, everybody. We officially hit goal. That is so exciting. We crushed the overtime meter.
Smashed the goal.
Das smash. Let me move this over. And wanted to say thank you, everybody. Dumb Nation, we appreciate you. Overtime. Crushed it. Absolutely obliterated overtime. We will be on till 9:30 tonight. In the first 36 minutes of the show, this was a good idea. I'm going to give myself some credit.
Yes. Courtney, happy birthday.
Oh, Courtney Dedue's birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, Courtney, happy birthday. Congratulations. It's good to have you here on your birthday. Outstanding. I'll figure out why this thing did this. I don't understand why it did. It should work. I've got it right there. You know what? Just for shits and giggles. Let's just see. Oh, there we go. There we go. We've got it fixed now. Everything will be fine. Let's go back to this so we can have a conversation. Thank you guys for hitting goal. Here it is.
I'm writing because I'm at a point of desperation in marriage. I'm not writing you to ask you to defend yourself personally. Rather, I'm asking how a Christian husband should respond when someone he loves becomes convinced of claims that seem resistant to evidence or meaningful dialogue. How do I continue loving my wife well without constantly arguing or silently affirming ideas that I sincerely believe are false? I've also wondered whether there can be a spiritual component to this kind of situation. Scripture speaks about deception, discernment, and spiritual warfare. But I want to be careful not to simply label someone I love. I don't want to respond with pride or anger. I want to respond with truth, grace, patience, and wisdom. Man, this lady has a very thoughtful husband. Let's just say that. He goes on to say, our marriage is under real strain because of these differences, and I honestly fear where this could lead if we cannot find a healthier way to communicate. If you happen to read this and have a few minutes to offer advice, or someone on your team could point me toward a message, article, or resource that addresses situations like this, I would be sincerely grateful. Thank you again for your faithful ministry. May God continue to bless and strengthen you and use your work to draw people to Christ. Excellent question and a hard problem here. I like this man's attitude that he wants to love his wife, but he's wondering how can he deal with his.
So his gentleman's name is Frank. He's on crossexamine.org. You can go see him. He's all over the place. Deb Pre says, awesome graphic. I thought the surprise was Matt making Liv flash. Oh, she flashed during the spots you couldn't see. That was just for me and not for you. I told you there's a cost for everything, and that is certainly not the price we're willing to pay. But she is willing to sell her body for money. Just let me know, and I accept cash, check, or credit card. I'm kidding. This is Frank, and it's at crossexamine.org. It's a very interesting human being. He does a lot of videos. I've watched a lot of his stuff. I don't remember his last name, surprisingly enough. I just think it's Frank. But you can give him a watch, crossexamine.org. It's a good topic. So, what are your first thoughts on this? Is Candace Owens
strikes again,
ruining relationships. Of course, Candace Owens' response to this was, wow, the gaslighting is super hard. They're shifting the goalposts now that I'm breaking up marriages. That's not what he said. He said he's having a hard time respecting his wife, who he loves and adores, the mother of his children, who is his queen, and she's loves a rancid, vapid bitch and doesn't know how to cope with it. That's what he said, Candace. What do you think?
It's almost like Candace is a cult and brainwashes people. The people who believe what she says with their whole heart. You mean
the Gomax retards?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. They're brainwashed. I mean, how can you watch a podcast and listen to that person and believe them when it's false and there's facts and proof to show and evidence that it's false, but believe them over your own spouse?
Well, let's do this. We already know Candace is batshit crazy. Yeah. I think our shirts show this. Let's talk about the wife and the man, for people who've been together for 27 years, on agreeing and disagreeing on certain things.
Well, I mean, marriage is always going to have disagreements. We have disagreed many a times on many a things, but we have more in common and we think more alike than we think opposite.
Correct.
And we also both know that compromise is a huge part of marriage. And
we listen to each other when it comes to things that's the one thing we do well. When things enter our orbit that we could possibly could become toxic or a catalyst for chasms of division between us, right? Mm-hmm. We do a very good job of discussing. And usually it's me going, no, Liv, no, stop and hold on. Let me show you why you're wrong. But that's not all cases. Let's take Grey's Anatomy. Certainly something that wasn't going to create a chasm in our relationship, but it's something I actually very much enjoyed and refused to watch. You reading 50 Shades of Grey was the greatest thing in the world. You making me read 50 Shades of Grey sucked. You reading it, I literally had to go on an IV. I couldn't walk. I was dehydrated 24 hours a day. Me reading it, you thought Twilight was a good series. I told you Stephanie Meyer wrote like a 2-year-old. And then when you read Potter, you're like, oh, so this is what real writing looks like. So we disagree on things. Abortion, God. But we never present a false front to the kids. We're always in alignment on what we agree and disagree on. Last thing I'd say is, dude, if you are Candace has been doing this now for about 10 months. And if it only took 10 months of having something as inane as Candace Owens and her watching a podcast to ruin your marriage,
there's probably something
going
on.
I question the love to begin with. I question her love for you and your love for her.
Because maybe she was looking for something that she felt was missing, and she got it through Candace,
vicariously through Candace.
Mind. But
not to be too judgy, I'm just saying, there's not a podcast that could separate my wife and I. Nobody can enter our orbit and impact us. Now, if she cheats on me or I cheat on her, that's a completely different conversation. That's a breach of trust that has no reconciliation path without a lot of sweat equity, tears, and blood, predominantly whoever did the cheating. But I believe my answer to you, like if I was counseling this guy, and like what's your advice to him as a woman? I'll give you my advice as a man.
Ooh. Try sitting down and having a complete, honest conversation with her and tell her how you are feeling and what you think is going on, and be completely honest.
Not about her, but about you.
But about you, how you are feeling in this.
Like I lose respect for you and I think you're stupid. Like just tell her. That's exactly how you feel. You're like, you're smarter than this. Why are you so stupid when it comes to cancer? I know that sounds harsh, but that's what he's thinking.
That's what needs to happen. And either that's going to make or break it. And
you're just an idiot. I think I'm like when I look at you, I'm not even remotely attracted anymore because of the level of stupidity that you have for being a Candace clone. Yeah, that sucks. That's harsh. That's really, really harsh. Maybe you might want to put a little bit of spin on that, but that's the truth. That's the way this guy's feeling. Can we just be honest? Because that's the way I would feel. If Olivia was following Candace, like, what the hell is wrong with you? You're so much better than this. Like, how? So your disappointment in her needs to be the forefront, because you got to get over your own feelings. And that's a shitty way to feel. Like, I'm not saying he's justified to feel that way. I think that's a horrible way to think about your wife. Maybe what you need to do is ask her
why she started watching in the first place, and what void was there to be filled. You
see it offends me. You see it hurts me. You see it, I struggle with it. What about her are the things, what are the top 2 things that make you go, you know what? I love my husband. He's the most important person in the world. But these 2 things make Candace completely something that I'm unwilling to circumnavigate around, and causation damaging my relationship a little bit. I'm okay with that. What are those things? And then she'd be like, there's nothing like that. At this point, I'm just pissed at you because you don't want me to watch her, so I do it to piss you off. Oh. Well, now we have a cause and effect situation. We have a reaction equals causation.
It sounds like it's a little more than that, because it sounds like they can't even have a conversation without arguing about it anymore. Is what it sounds like to me, is that they can't even talk because they don't see eye to eye on anything.
Well, as a man, I would say this, and this is the strongest way that I can express this. And I hope that you understand what I'm saying to the people listening here, is you're talking to a person who is not basing their decisions on logic. And you are trying to approach this from a logical way.
Yeah.
And that is not going to work. You are more than likely going to have to man up and have a drag out fight with your wife. That's the truth. You're both going to have to get a little bitter. There might be some tears shed, some insulting of mothers and fathers might take place. Maybe some
things thrown at each other,
but
like a remote or something.
Sounds like you guys need to get into it a little bit, then have some really aggressive sex.
Mm-hmm.
That will help. And then pray on it, because it's too ambiguous right now. You need to narrow your focus, and then God's busy, and he's not going to fix it for you, but he will put you on the path that you will need, and unfortunately will find to be the most uncomfortable for you to navigate and your wife. But if you guys are literally on the ropes because of Candace Owens, I don't have a lot of faith that this continues. That's my point. Because
they might want to end up going to couples counseling.
No, that doesn't work either. Couples, it's so ridiculous that another person can tell you what's wrong with you. You know what's wrong. You know, you're just making a choice. You're making a choice not to do it. But he's losing respect for her. It's kind of like, real quick, it's kind of like this. It's you and I got married. You wanted to get married. I was like indifferent. And you wanted to have kids. And I was like, I'm not even remotely in a hurry. And it was a bridge. Nope. Either you have kids or this relationship is going to be over. And I'm like, what the where did that come from? So that was it. It was a thou shall not pass Gandalf moment for you. And I was kind of like, Gandalf, we have to go to the Shire and eat some crumpets and some noonsies and some morningsies. And what are you doing, Gandalf? Why are you changing things? And I didn't understand. Then I just went ahead and threatened to take away the one ring to rule them all. Oh, Hobbit says I take your ring and keep it in my cupboard. But the other Hobbit says I do. My precious. My precious. And then once I put that fat ring on your finger, you didn't say shit anymore. Now you're just like, hey, woman, go get me a beer.
No, he's not talking to you, Ash.
I'm not talking to you, Ash.
The only thing about couples counseling that I think would be beneficial for them is basically it's like having a mediator. It's somebody who
they're not a mediator. They never are. Yeah. It's like when we took Hayden to that family camp, and that woman hated me. The moment I walked in, she's like tattooed, 6'4", omnipresent bearded man. He's a cock swinging, masculine, hormonal man cock. She hated me. She absolutely hated me. And I told her in the middle of it, I'm like, lady, what is there anything I'm going to say that you're going to possibly agree with in this conversation, or should I just fucking leave? That's what I said. And then what did I do? I left. I got up and I went and sat in the waiting room. Like every time I've went to a counselor or a psychiatrist or psychologist, whatever it is, it's always they do choose sides. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's Yoda, Matt. No, it's not. It's not even close to Yoda. Yoda is hate leads to anger. Anger leads to suffering. Suffering leads to the dark side. Yes, it does. That's Yoda. It's not Yoda.
Wank!
Who said that?
Thomas Griffiths. But that's
We
Yoda,
love
Matt.
you, Thomas. Don't listen to him.
Spit it out, Junior. Anyway, Michelle says opinionated. Who's me? No. What a fallacy. Matt, does Section 219 of the National Defense Authorization Act worry you at all, even slightly? Well, I don't know. It's been a while, man. I mean, you're going to start quoting sections of the NDAA. It bothered me under Biden because it was the weaponization of using the military in social situations. I like Trump's version better, which uses the military in situations where the local law enforcement aren't doing their job. That's Beavis and Butthead. No. Hey, cornhole in bunhole. He said doofus. It's not Beavis and Butthead. Rewind it and listen to it. I don't need to. I'm the one that said it. I'm the one that said it. Why would I need to rewind and listen to it? First of all, how are we going to rewind digital? Can you tell me how to do that? We're going to crawl into the computer and whip the hamster? Dude, don't tell me about my voice. I absolutely understand. Get into you, man. I swear to God, boy. Get in there and just start cracking ass. It's got to be all that freaking Canadian fire you guys are sending down here. All that smoke. You're blowing smoke here, too, in this conversation. All right, here we go. That's my opinion. But I love this. This is Shapiro. I'm only 4'10". He could squash me.
Must be conversations.
What are we talking about? Here is Shapiro on his wife's.
Oh,
what?
I think Dawn said she's
I know you are,
6
Thomas.
foot, and that she would love to stand next to you because she's 6 feet tall. So I think everyone else is talking about their height. Hey, Michelle, you're the same height.
Did Dawn say I was hot? Is that what she said?
No.
Oh, that's all I heard when she's like,
She
he's
said
so
she's
dreamy and
6
tall.
foot tall.
He's so dreamy. You should see me on skates. It's a terror. It's like 6'6" on skates. It's a lot. Yeah. Hey, now take that back, Matt. It's because it's BC's fault. I know. More like Smeagol from Lord of the Rings. Thank you, Brian McGuire. That's exactly what it was. I know the difference between Yoda and Smeagol.
And Chewy.
And most assuredly, Beavis and Butthead. And Eric Cartman. I'm not fat and big bone. Mama, Kitty's being a dildo. I know one little kitty who's going home with mommy tonight. No, kid, it's my papa.
Mr. Hat. You go to hell, Mr. Hat.
Mr.
You
Hat.
die.
Mr. Hat, you're a fag.
You
You go to hell.
Mr. Hat.
You go to hell and you die. Big Al's Big Bay Goat Rod.
They killed Kenny. You bastards. Don't kick the baby.
Matt.
Ethan does that really well.
The baby.
Oh, let's kick the baby.
Matt, Mel just loves to blow smoke up your ass. It's hot. Here's Shapiro and his wife. This is good. Watch this.
Yeah, I just got to watch my wife have our fifth child. And I have to say, just on a normal level, obviously when you watch your wife have a child, it is a physically demanding process, shall we say. And it's not when, if I ask my wife, is that when you've looked your best? The answer, of course, is no. That is certainly not when she has looked her best.
Nope.
but is when she is at her most beautiful, for
Yes.
sure. In our marriage, whenever she has the baby, the day of the birth, the moment of the birth, that is when she looks the most beautiful to me as a human being. When the baby is put on her chest and she's holding the baby. And that's not because that is when she is at her most physically beautiful. Of course not. Of course not. It's because it's when her soul is at its height, because here is a new soul that she's just brought into the world, and she's holding the baby and she's looking down at the baby, and she has the same expression every time, this kind of expression of astonishment and joy and kind of bewildered happiness all at the same time.
Exhaustion.
And I'm watching this happen, and I'm just looking at her, and I'm not seeing, her face or her eyes or her body at that point. I'm seeing something different. And that is what makes the world a beautiful and astonishing place, the soul. That's the concept. It's not just something that we need in order to explain why we're here or why we matter. It is, in fact, why we as individual human beings matter. It's not our bodies. It's not the physical condition we're in. It's why whenever people talk about the purpose of life is human flourishing, they have to mean something more than flourishing in the physical sense.
Right.
Because the soul is the thing that matters in the world.
Right.
And all of that's inspiring because it says that you can have a lifetime of meaning. It's available to you regardless of material circumstance if you can see the soul of another person. And that's doable. It doesn't require magic.
Wow. Ben is, see, what I like about Ben is, and not all things, of course, Ben's wrong a lot.
He's slowing down his talk, which
he's
is
getting
much
older.
better.
He's getting older. But the one thing I love about Ben is he's able to relate to people through God without necessarily being preachy about his to the people who are non-secular or who are secular in their beliefs. Section 219 of the FY 2027 NDA intervening the U.S. and the Israeli military intelligence in new expanded ways. There's just been questions, concerns over security and sovereignty issues. We have the same relationship with MI6. With the PKJ. We already have an extensive intelligence sharing apparatus with Israel. We have it with the Japanese and the JIN. I'm completely fine with having a unification of our intelligence apparatus with Israel, even more than it already is. Fine with that. No problem with it whatsoever. Military, combined military, that's not what we're talking about. A lot of people are saying, we're joining military with those. No, we're not. No, we're not. In fact, Israel is moving forward, and even Netanyahu and others are pushing for separation of military funding through the United States, which gives us less control. But no, I have no problem with Mossad at all. So no, that doesn't bother me. We already share our entire human intelligence apparatus in Israel, in the Middle East, is Mossad. Like, that's why we pay them $3.3 billion a year, and we should continue to pay them $3.3 billion because that is the biggest steal ever. The entire North Africa and the Middle East, you have the greatest human intelligence apparatus known to man in the Middle East. I'm okay for that. Disdain for Christians. What do you mean? Who's disdain? I don't understand. Israel?
There was an LOL after that, so maybe.
Oh no, I don't. I just don't understand. I usually take people very seriously, so I don't know. I don't know what that means. There are people that say that Israel spits on Christians. Yep, so does New York. So does Chicago. So do the Romans. Everyone spits on Christians. They're the most persecuted people on the planet and have been forever. Yes, even more than Jews and trans people and more than blacks. Yep. Christians, folks. But Hasidic Jews have always been that way. They're that way in New York, too. They hate Christians. And it doesn't matter where you go. There's people, but what's funny? People like, there's a certain group of 2% of Israelis who spit on Christians. Yeah, but the cool thing about that is 100% of Muslims hate Christians, and you guys don't seem to give a fuck about that. And there's 2 billion of them. You know what I mean? Yep. Brian, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to everybody. Just not to this extent. I'm aware of the others. No, we share with MI6 as much. Well, we used to. We don't as much anymore. Anonymous donate $50. This is for Ethan. I feel like he may be ashamed. It's so hard at his age not to be confident with love and support. Praying for him. I hope he finds his way through this soon. Much love. Thank you.
I'll be right back.
Such a very good point. We share with MI6, PKJ. We share with Polish intelligence almost as much as we share with MI6. We're just basically sharing with Israel at the level we share with other intelligence agencies. Oh, about Shapiro? Okay, sorry, Brian. I'm not trying to be froggy and frosty. I really don't know. Israel is one of the most accepting and loving places I've ever been to in my life. Truly. The two places that I absolutely love to go, where I felt absolutely no threat, no issues, any way, shape, or form. Australia used to be, not anymore. Bali was huge. I love Bali. Kuala Lumpur was amazing. Malaysia was great. Not feeling love there at times. Even Japan, I felt more people disliked me in Japan than, even though they love Americans there. Korea sucked. Russia was amazing. Surprisingly enough, they all wanted our Levi's and our disc players and shit like that. So, but the two most accepting places I've been to in the world were Australia and Israel. Israel is, you guys just look at their look at their parliament, look at their form of government. They have Greek Orthodox, they have Russian Orthodox, they have Jews, Arabs, homosexuals, blacks, whites. I mean, it is Western civilization in the middle of the Middle East. And I don't understand why people have such a big problem with that. You know what? I truly believe one of too much of anything is a bad thing. And we have enough Arab countries. We do. We really do. Having one Jewish country, I'm fine with that. I'm good with that. Let's let them keep that land, because biblically speaking, we can all reach in and kiss our pucker if we don't. You know what I mean? Sure. I have worked with Mossad, just wish they didn't act like immature teenagers so much. Right, but isn't that any intelligence? Fucking CIA and FBI act the same way. You know how many CIA guys and spooks I worked with, the NSA or the NRO, who were the exact same way? Seriously, I'm so glad I didn't have a chance to work with Department of Homeland Security. But I can tell you, every National Reconnaissance officer I worked with was just a giant pain in the ass. It doesn't matter whether it's DNI or CID or it's Mossad or it's MI6 or JKP or Polish intelligence, and doesn't matter. They're all the same. They're all the same. We are too loud for Japan and Korea. I got along in Japan, though. I really did. I like Japan. I like Japanese people. I love Japan. I'd love to take Olivia there. But all intelligence agencies are immature and stupid. Mossad knows how good they are. They don't know how they're bad at other types of intelligence that they're excellent at human intelligence. They're amazing in interrogation and OPSEC, but they are shitty at electronic intelligence, Radent, ELINT, SIGINT. SIGINT's not bad. They've gotten better. Signals intelligence, interception, cryptography, they're not great at. They certainly are great at espionage. They're really good at espionage. I have no problem with Mossad. Some of the best people I know worked in IDF or Mossad. You know, that's all I can say. But we are too loud for Japanese and Koreans. All right. What did you like that about Shapiro? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about your pregnancies. Do you mind if I tell you my perception of you?
Sure.
I never understood how much stronger women were than men when I saw that. And like I've seen fierce women in my life, fierce. Speaking of IDF, Korean women who were similar, Saudi women who were similar, Russians, holy shit. Russian women are just like literally they're pregnant and they just sit on a rock and, give me some leaves and some fresh water from the creek and I'll have this baby in 2 seconds. You're just, God, the rock splits and they put the baby up to the heavens, and like Norse goddesses. They're incredible. But I didn't know how incredibly strong you were until I saw that moment. And it gave me, like, it checked. I told you there's levels of respect for people. You have like intellectual respect. You have physical and sexual respect. You have, physical strength, what I mean, versus physical love. And then you have respect for a peer. And I explained to you, I had respect for all of those things versus intelligence and a peer of being disappointed in certain things. And I explained to you how that's passed. But the physical, I was like, wow. Like, I understand why Red Dawn worked, And you don't see women in battle for reasons, but if a woman has a cause and a reason, she is a fierce thing. And to see you navigate that pregnancy and navigate the pain, and not just the birth, but oh my God, the post, and like the things they were pulling out of you look like Sigourney Weaver was going to come out in a big old lifter. Get away from her, you bitch! And I was just like, whoa, that thing is wow. And then the before, I mean, the carrying the child, and the emotional swings and the throwing up and the compression socks and the giant, like you're almost as wide as you are tall. But I will be honest with you, there were some things in that room that I'll never repeat that took place, and I didn't care.
I think every woman that's had a child,
the sights, the
understands.
smells, the sounds, the screams, the cry, none of it mattered. The only thing I was locked in on was that there was an incredible beauty of the pain that you were going through. And the best way that I can describe it, that once that was released, was like ecstasy for you. I had never seen you so exhausted, so tired, but so completely fulfilled as a human being than at that moment. I'd never seen it before. So it's not just beauty, but it's like admiration. It's like seeing past the physical and moving into the metaphysical or the existential for the first time. It's like another planar of existence. It's seeing an embodiment of your spirit and soul. That's the best way that he expressed it. I got to feel like I could see your soul. That's the only way. Ben put it perfectly. Mine's too verbose.
I think women are a little crazy because we go through that much pain.
A little.
And I'm not Candace crazy. And then we want to do it all over again. I mean, I maybe it's the miracle of women, because I can describe the birth of both my children perfectly, but I can say how much pain it was, but I don't remember the pain, if that makes sense.
No, and you wanted to, I mean, once we had it, you were like, when you did that skin on skin, and when Hayden didn't breathe right away, that is the most terrified I've ever seen you. And I was just like, it's going to be fine. You saw me watching.
I know she wouldn't breathe.
But you asked me that. She's like, she's not breathing. I said, that's great. Just let the doctor do what the doctor knows how to do. But we didn't hear a cry for 30 seconds. And to Olivia, like 5 minutes.
The longest hour of my entire life is what it felt like.
And you know what's funny is that she gripped my hand hard, but she hadn't gripped my hand as hard as when Hayden wasn't breathing. Like she was scared. And that was the most fear I've seen her that day. Because she walked into it like a champ, you know? I mean, she was already dilated 5 centimeters for a month. A month. Uh-huh. A month. You could put a bowling ball through her.
With both kids.
So anyway.
I did half my labor at home.
I really appreciate Ben's conversation. Yeah. I can't believe more people aren't listening to this. Because we had a bunch on, and then like the guys are like, we're out of here. Matt's going to make all of us women cry with his talk. Oh, whatever. You're not. Why are you guys crying? What the hell's wrong with you? You women are so fucking emotional.
Oh my goodness.
The no breathing. Yeah. Hayden wasn't breathing. That scared me.
Ethan breathed right away. He came out screaming.
Ethan was screaming right away, but Hayden wasn't breathing. And we know
And the doctor put her over, and they took out the mucus plugs, and I knew that had a lot to do with it. Plus that she went through a lot of stress with her head, and it was a canal birth completely, and she was cone shaped, and she had a big fucking head. If you look at Hayden, she's not a small girl. She's built like her dad, and yeah, I mean, if Olivia had to do the ping pong ball show at Tijuana, she would be using NBA official size basketballs. That's how big Hayden was.
It's freaking 13 centimeters. Oh my gosh.
It's okay. You guys can cry.
Head.
Just cry. I mean, I get it. I know what a catch I am. Go ahead, Liv. $10. Don Bradley puts us at 401. That's a good number. 401. Outstanding. Thank you, Don Bradley. Great show. Happy to be here on Friday. Pregnancy talk is great from your perspective. I like talking about everything. You guys know that, but I love that about Ben. Here is something else. I'm not going to tell you the title of this video that I put down because that would put me in a naughty place.
I just saw it. Oh, man.
This happened at 7-Eleven, and you guys know that these teenage takeovers are taking place. And listen, this isn't the first time. Okay, we understand what happened in the 1950s with the greasers and the Socia types. We understand what happened in the 70s, and you had gangs start to increase, and Crips and the Bloods in the late 80s, 90s, and early 2000s.
Don't forget the Sharks and the Jets.
Yeah, Sharks and the Jets. What you've had. These type of things, but these takeovers are very Japanese. The motorcycle gangs in Japan they're a little terrifying. If you haven't seen the movie Black Rain, go watch it. Which we need to watch that tonight. I would so love to watch that movie. What's up?
Did I just have a complete brain fart? Did we call out Don Bradley's donation?
I did.
Okay,
I called her out.
Total brain fart then. Sorry.
So, but these teen takeovers are insane. So these 5 kids armed with a Japanese samurai sword. I can't make this shit up. A Japanese samurai sword, an AR-15, get this white guy and just beat the living shit out of him. And nobody's been arrested. At least up until last night, nobody had been arrested. And this didn't make national news. It's insanity. Listen to this. Watch this. Yeah, Black Rain is one of the greatest movies. Michael Douglas and Andy Garcia. It's so freaking good. It's perfect. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. But it's outside of 7-Eleven. We've all seen this 7-Eleven. Look they've got a gun. This person over here in the lower right has a gun. Looks like a Tech 9. And they are just beating the living snot out of this poor guy.
He's like 70-something or 80-something,
yeah,
isn't he?
And these kids, boom, and they're shooting him. So they get him, and they're trying to rob him and take his shit. And this poor guy is
why isn't somebody in the store doing something?
No, I understand this, but these punks and what happened beforehand, I don't know, but now he's surrounded. And boom, they body slam him, they get him down, they start hitting him. They continue to do it. They're just cowards. They're just fucking cowards. Now they hit him and they've got that AR on him.
They don't need to be arrested.
Well, no. Here's the thing. The days of arrests are over. And I will be transparent with you. And I don't mean to be rude. And I'm not trying to threaten. But if I was in that situation, I would immediately draw and I'd kill every fucking one of them.
It's going to take one of them messing with the wrong person that has a concealed carry.
Yeah.
And shoots one of them.
In that situation, I'm getting behind that minivan and I'm going to kill every fucking one of them. And that's it. And I don't care if they have swords or anything. They have no idea. When that fight comes to them, they won't know what to do.
The first shot, they're all going to run like little bitches.
Yeah, every single one. I'm putting around in every one of them. Back or forward. Facing me or not, they're all going down. Because at that point, you've escalated it to a live or die situation. And I don't care if you're running or not. I'm going to kill you. You need to get 30 yards away from me or I'm going to continue to unload that magazine and I'm taking down every single target I can. Because it has nothing to do with animus. Those people are animals. They're not black. They're not white. They're not anything. They are absolute pieces of shit. They are vermin. And it's time for people to start fighting back.
Yeah.
Would you look that up, how he is, by the way? I haven't had a chance to look it up. But and it's not me being tough. I mean, I very well could die. That guy with the AR could have hit me, but I'm going to fight, and I'm going to pull, and I'm going to shoot them. And you know what? The thing is if any one of those kids were shot by that poor man, there would have been a race riot in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you killed a 16-year-old baby. You know what? No, I killed a 16-year-old hood rat, vile person. Well, he was black. I don't give a shit what color he is. That person is a threat to me getting him. If he was white, I would have
done it too.
What?
If he was white, would have done it too.
Yeah, I don't care what color you are. There's places in New Mexico that we've went to that in Albuquerque, which are all white meth head places. But I'm sorry. If there was any color, any age, I don't care. If you're 12 years old and you're acting like that, you deserve to be put down. I'm sorry.
All right. This was in Baltimore.
Yep.
Go figure.
Yeah, go figure. Maryland, right next to us.
Despite the severity of the attack, he only suffered minor bruising, which is shocking because he was 74 years old.
It doesn't matter. You are going, if that's a stand your ground state, you unload on all of them. And I hate to say this, because this is the part I hate. I have no empathy or sympathy for their age. I just don't care.
If they're going to act like that, they deserve to be treated like that.
That's it.
And kind.
And if you want to exercise into the combat arena, and you are entering the arena saying, I have weapons and I'm going to kill you. Challenge accepted at that point. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm not looking for a fight. I'm not looking to hurt anybody. But if you are going to do that and you're going to put me in that situation, people are going to die. And it's either going to be me or you.
Yep.
And I think we're getting to that. Now you add people who do have animus towards black people, who are looking for an excuse. This is how civil wars start. And it starts with this stuff. No, Tamara, I'm not a boomer. That's the funny thing. I'm not a boomer.
Our parents were boomers.
I'm not a boomer. I'm 52. I'm not a boomer. But that guy's a tough old boomer. Yes. If you're saying that guy, yes, he's a tough old boomer. Yep. And, he stood off 5 of them with a sword and an AR. It's getting out of control. But I'm telling you right now, I thought January 11th, remember when I told everybody, or January 6th, I said, this has the makings to kick off civil war tomorrow. Be careful. Mm-hmm. Because what I thought is a black person or a white person or both were going to be killed, and that was it. Race riots were going to go crazy. This was before J6. You guys can go back to that show. It was one of my first shows. We had just started in October of that year, previous year.
Yep.
And I said, don't go down there tomorrow. I had multiple listeners who, I don't even know if they're here anymore. Tomorrow, I'm with you. I got you. And I told people, don't go down there. I had Secret Service texting me on the show that night, friends of mine who are saying, dude, shit's going down. I had a Force Recon sniper friend of mine who was activated to go there and be a sniper on the roof. Go watch the show. Just go back to January 5th, the night before January 6th. No shit. Olivia will tell you. Anyway, glad he's safe, and I'm glad you know what? They need to arrest every one of those kids, and they need to get assault with attempt first-degree murder. They brought those weapons on purpose, and they attacked that man in a gangland style. That is a premeditated murder. Get him for first-degree attempted murder. Put him in jail for 20 fucking years. No parole.
And not juvie.
No. Well, you put him in juvie at 18. Try him as an adult. Put him in juvie till they're 18, and then transfer him to a maximum state prison. Start sending messages. Enough of this shit. I don't care if you're impoverished. I don't care if you have a hard life. You're a thug, and we got to start cleaning up these streets. We have got to do it, man.
Yeah.
Here is the VA superintendent. They just can't stay out there. Oh, can we tell you guys what happened real quick before we get to the schools? We talked to the principal of the school, of Ethan's school.
Oh, yeah.
And you want to tell, why don't you tell him what happened?
You're better at telling
No,
stories.
honey, I want you to, you tell him. This is a communal effort. You and me working together, simpatico.
Well, we talked to the vice principal.
Oh, God, you're telling it all wrong.
Yeah, you go.
No, I'm just kidding. I was just joking. Just a little humor. Go ahead.
So we talked to the vice principal, and she was really, really cool. And I'm not good at shit like this.
You're doing fine.
No, I'm not. You tell.
Stop it.
Here's the thing. My memory does not Remember that. So you're going to have to talk about it.
What are we talking about?
Exactly.
So I called the vice principal, and we just sat down and we just said, Mr. and Mrs. Spear, we know we've had some issues with your school from time to time. I laid the groundwork, and we just laid the case down. And it was a very good conversation. She took it very seriously. She did not like that they advanced him. You could tell she was a conservative, and she was like, I am completely on your side. We should not be rewarding mediocrity and failure, and I'm with you. We could do a better job. We should have notified you, and I'm going to send this feedback. And it was just a mutual conversation. It was amazing.
Fortunately, it's a Virginia state law that they don't have to notify parents anymore.
But she said,
she was going to, any of the parents that hadn't filled out the form, either confirming yes or no, take my child back,
call them.
They were going to call the parents just so they knew.
And we interacted change. And I'm like, I hung up and I said, that is the way it's supposed to be. Communal, community-based raising of children. That is how it should happen. And what we did is now every parent will be notified by phone call. No mistake will be made. They'll be placed where they deserve to be. And you didn't supersede the state's authority, and you implemented exactly what was in your authority to do as a teacher. That is what I'm talking about. It was perfectly handled. And I'm like, great. That is the way it should be. Yep. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we wanted to let you, and then the fucktards do this. Sorry for the language. Superintendent teachers advocating that he can't start drug testing teachers because he doesn't want to lose tenured teachers when they finally got their hiring goals met. Listen to this shit.
They may leave our school division. Implementing such a program would completely negate the work that we have done over the last 18 months plus in the school division on teacher retention. I give you the data just for our recruitment fair this past week. I guarantee you that our neighbors, whether it's Stafford, Fredericksburg City, Caroline, Louisa, Orange County, Culpeper, Prince William, they're looking for you to implement such a policy. Because here's what's going to happen. You think our retention numbers are what it is? Drones of people are going to look at the school division. And you think we have a problem hiring and retaining people and filling positions? You'll have vacancies because no one will want to work here. The data don't support it. It is not my decision, it's the board decision. But from the way I stand, I think that's a slippery slope. And I certainly hope the board don't take any steps to entertain, while I understand the concerns of implementing a drug testing program based on the fact that we have 2 positive tests in almost a school year. And if I go back to data, based on the fact that we had 1 or 2 incidents, we are 6,000 plus employee division. We're the largest employer in Spotsylvania County, the largest. You are going to have incidents that occur. The question is, how do we handle it, and how do we go and put systems in place to support people that are struggling? As Mr. DeBella mentioned, it is not about putting systems that is going to go ahead and preventing people from working in our school district.
No, that has nothing to do with it.
Mitchell. Go get them, Liv.
It has everything to do that you suck at your job, and people are actually going to see through the fact that you can't freaking run your school district.
And you're using drugs as a teacher.
If the fact that I don't care, oh, you only had 2 incidences, and no, that should be 0. You are the top tier in a school district, and your employees are around our country's most precious commodity, which is our children.
Which we don't have a lot of right now.
And the fact that you're willing to stand up and defend the teachers that are doing drugs. And I don't know if they're probably not doing them on campus.
You don't know that.
I don't know that.
That's an assumption.
I don't know that.
How can you assume positive intent for something that's already unlawful? If somebody's unlawful in one step, then you have to assume that they're unlawful and not studious in their discipline of how or where they do the drugs. If their judgment is that bad on doing drugs as a teacher, then you can't assume that their judgment is good on where they do those drugs, right?
Yeah. I mean, I call me old fashioned, but I would really appreciate that all of my kids' teachers are sober when they're in school.
Right.
And when they're teaching my children. And if I'm not mistaken, I think every single job I've ever had, I've had to do a drug test before they would
Most
hire
jobs
me.
you have to do drug tests.
So
but food service industry or automotive, or you're working in industry or major corporations, drug tests, especially like Home Depot and stuff like that. We have forklifts. All that stuff is drug testing.
I
Yes,
had to be
government is
fingerprinted and do a drug test to work at the daycare.
I know.
Seriously?
Well, they don't have to work during COVID either because, that's too high of a risk. Listen, teachers, if you need substances to get you through your day,
find a new job.
Find a new fucking job. Stay away from my kid, because you know what? All I need is a hot load of fentanyl dropping out of your purse and my kid picking up that bag and dying because you're an idiot. Keep that shit out of my schools. What happened to the DARE program? What happened to keep kids off drugs? You already are trying to lop off their penises and reassign their surgeries. We don't, and their gender. We don't need you, some hopped up idiot. Oh, well, I just like my brownies and it calms me down. Great. Well, then go work at Radio Shack or go work at Shakey's Pizza. But you don't get to go ahead and teach my children.
Local pottery or whatever.
That's right.
Stay away from my kids.
Can you imagine that? Listen, do you know how hard it would be to go? We have 6,000 employees. Do you know how many of those 6,000 inappropriately fondled children? And you want me to do investigations on that? Oh, woe's fucking me, dude.
Do your fucking job.
They're already protected to a point where they don't need to have any type of results that warrant any strong meritocracy. You're failing our kids. They're not mandatory teaching extra hours. They get more days off than any other profession known to man. I'm sorry. I understand teaching is hard, but not with AI anymore. Don't give me that shit. Don't give me that shit that every single teacher is not out there scanning 30 freaking assignments in and having AI go ahead and grade them. Don't tell me that's not happening. You're a liar. Don't tell me AI is not literally building your assignments. I know they are. I've seen some of the things you guys talk about. I can see it all over the place. Olivia or Hayden tells me, Ethan tells me what you guys are teaching in school. Don't tell me your lesson plans aren't being created by AI. The days of you going in at 6 a.m. and working at 9 o'clock at night with a half glass of wine, sitting in front of a fire with your bifocals on, with a sweater knitted from frickin' wool of the sheep that are in the front of your cottage are over. Don't give me this bullshit that you work 16 hours a day as a teacher. You guys are lazy. You're entitled. You're protected upon high by unions that have destroyed public education, because guess what, folks? Public education is 75 years of abysmal failure because we used to be number one in every single category and now we're last.
And it was when people came in who were not teachers, who didn't have teaching degrees, didn't have children, came in and said, oh, let's put everyone in one category and have them all take tests. And we're going to grade them on those tests. And that's the only thing we're going to look at.
No, there's no more Radio Shack and Shakey's Pizza. That was my point, because people who do drugs don't work. They just sit around and smoke weed all day. Listen, I'm not saying that people who smoke pot recreationally don't work. That's not what I'm saying. There are plenty of people who do that. There's plenty of people who do cocaine and methamphetamines who work, and do heroin and speedballs and do mushrooms and peyote. I don't care. I don't care. What you do in your time off has no bearing on my life whatsoever. And same with teachers. But the moment that you go ahead and can't take a drug test at work because you're afraid you'll piss positive means that your decisions are impacting my children. And the answer is no. Mm-hmm. For the same reason that I don't want a doctor high when he's cutting into my heart is the same reason I don't want a teacher teaching my child while they're intoxicated. Sorry. No Radio Shacks, no Shakey's Pizza. Shakey's and Radio Shack went by the way of the dodo. Yeah, good conversation. Fun night tonight. I'm enjoying tonight. Tonight's a good night.
Yes.
It's fun. We have a lot of people on, let's see, a couple on Instagram. 50 over on Rumble. What's up, my Rumble peoples?
I can't see the Instagram numbers.
It's okay. I can. That's all that matters. Abortion hearing. This is disturbing. This was an abortion hearing that none of you saw because it was just released, talking about the the usafacts.org folks. This is something that you would actually see going to usafacts.org, signing the petition at thedumbshow.com/facts to implore Congress to ensure that the infrastructure and the dissemination of information paid for by our tax dollars is given to us in a fluid and in a way based upon alacrity. Okay? We don't have that right now. We don't have it. It takes too long to get information. Here's case in point. Case in point is abortion hearing for tissue procurement in 2025 was just recently released. Watch this. You're not going to like this. You're not going to like this. It's going to bother you. And then I'm going to show you an abortion debate that happens right after. Here it is.
How does a tissue procurement occur in one of these situations when the entire fetus is intact in the lab?
We do dissection.
And just to be clear, you do dissection to obtain the tissues that are on the list for the day?
We do dissection to get the tissues that the researchers have requested, yeah.
Okay. They are, they have a heartbeat, don't they, at the point they would fall out?
Objection. This
blood-sucking lawyer
isn't in the room when that happens. This witness is not a doctor. This witness is not here to testify about the medical.
No, but this witness is responsible, literally, for shaling and ripping off and de-skinning a human being. So if they're capable of doing that, I would think that they are able to go ahead and make a prognosis whether that person is alive or dead before doing those atrocities to that human being, if I'm not mistaken. Could I be wrong?
Biological conditions of the fetus when it comes...
The fetus. The baby, you soulless piece of shit.
It's eliminated from the mother.
And by not alive, do you mean
eliminated?
That they were not
Why are you
moving?
Smiling?
Correct.
And do you mean that they did not have a heartbeat?
It would depend.
Okay. And when you say it would depend, what do you mean?
I can see hearts that are not in an intact POC that are beating independently.
Product of conception. A byproduct of conception. Essentially,
and she can see the heart beating.
Yes, and
you're still dissecting it.
Yes, an immaterial thing, a POC, a product of conception.
She has no soul, and she's going to hell.
A product of conception. I'm trying to make a comparison contrast with this. Let's say calling a multiple homicide, murder, and decapitation a product of psychosis. That's how abhorrent that comment is. First of all, it puts it in the place of removing the soul and the life and the value of life completely and the humanity of the subject by labeling it with an act of pumping seminal fluid into a vaginal cavity and then saying here's the result of that. By mixing 2 parts A and 2 parts B, you equal C. That's what you just said. That is how you just relegated human life to a formulaic equation. You fucking
It's a good thing Hayden's not here and didn't see that.
That pisses me off. 2019, that video was put up. It's just making circulations now. Why? We need this information now. We need to know where these people are now. We need Planned Parenthood. We need not just, you know what I want? I want the stat that I've been looking for years, which is to find out how many abortions are actually done that are post-op abortions, that were abortions where the fetus is dead, needs to be removed, because they call that an abortion. And then I want to find out how many were actually used for sexual contraception. As in, I had unprotected sex, I got pregnant, and now I'm going to have an abortion. They don't release that information. They don't tell you. But I'm letting you know, when it comes to rape, life of mother, post-op abortions, they're like, oh, most of them are. No, that's complete dog shit. Most abortions, most miscarriages are properly passed. Any of those remnants that are remaining are because you want to have kids in the future, or it creates some sort of problem in that area. It anesthetizes, it can create blood clots. There's other reasons to do it. Most people who miscarry have their miscarriage and then go on with their lives. Because the numbers, even though they're not documented, if you research this, 2 to 3% of abortions fall into those categories I just messaged, and the rest of them are essentially reproductive murder.
And the big difference with a miscarriage is that mother wanted that baby. Miscarriages are not the mother's fault. It's something happened with the baby. And I have a friend who had a miscarriage at 5 months. She was 5 months pregnant, and it messed her up. I mean, I saw her a week after she got home from the hospital, and she was just destroyed. She went and hid at her parents'
a lot
house.
of women who have abortions have PTS and they don't even know it.
Yeah, she was just destroyed. And then it turns out she had a rare blood clotting disorder or something that she had no idea she had. And unfortunately, it clotted up the blood going up to the umbilical cord. So unfortunately, she got it under control, took medicine, ended up having another baby. So, yeah. But still, she talks about what they found out it was a girl. They had a name picked out. And she talks about that baby all the time. I mean, it's sad. You've got the woman who has had 25 abortions and she has sex, gets pregnant just so she can have an abortion and flaunts it.
Right.
And celebrates every single baby's abortion day and is proud of what she has done. So that is the complete opposite end of the spectrum.
When people say abortion should happen in rape, incest, medical necessity, no. An abortion should take place when the mother accepts the consequences and is educated on all of the facts and rejects all alternative options to aborting the baby for rape, incest, or medically necessary. Because that is a critical distinction. We should do everything we can to offer options for every single mother out there to carry that baby to full term in any way possible. It is the most important thing we can do as a society to repudiate abortion and murder. And it's no longer listen, the opposite of pro-life is pro-murder. It's pro-death. It's not pro-life. It's not pro-choice. The opposite of life is not choice. It's death. And in this case, it is a wrongful death, which means murder. It's pro-murder and pro-life. Bullshit any other way. Stop allowing them to change words. Stop the Democrat machine from changing words. Olivia is reading a great book called The Age of Enlightenment, and she is like, oh my gosh. Do you want to tell people where you're at with this?
They're talking about technology, when technology and computers started.
Oh, good.
Coming about.
It's a good part of the book.
Yeah.
Everything's good in this book. And it's just an eye-opener. And it will just let you know that both sides, he goes after conservatives too. He really hits Reagan hard. And he should, because Reagan made some horrible choices.
Yeah. Jane's right. Ectopic pregnancies and other types of natural loss should not be counted in numbers for abortion. They shouldn't. That's right. An ectopic pregnancy, one of my cousin had one.
Yeah.
And that is something you have to abort that baby, unfortunately, because one, the baby's not going to survive past a certain amount of time. Yep. And second, it's going to kill the mother. And if it doesn't kill the mother, then it's going to make her sterile where she can't have kids anymore. Yeah. So,
and once again, this is what liberals do. They take the most minutia of cases and they make it for the standard of whole.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people need to understand the ending of a pregnancy is an abortion. And ectopic pregnancies are the ending. And this is the definition. Please understand, I'm not encouraging and saying that this is okay. What I'm saying to you is that a definition of abortion is very important, because it's the ending of a pregnancy before birth, either intentionally through medication or a procedure, or naturally through miscarriage. A miscarriage is classified as an abortion, whether you like that or not. The word abort is from the Latin to stop. That's all it is. And it's an action of stopping. That is the definition of abortion in the Latin, from its etymology, and the literal definition. Now, I understand nomenclature is extremely important here. And in nomenclature, it says that the meaning of words could have implied or different meanings based upon civilizations, interpretations, or normalities of those words. Right? Is everyone following me?
Yes.
So when we think of abortion, it's going and having a baby ripped out of your body. That is not what an abortion is. Medically speaking, just like the difference between an insurrection from a literal definition and a criminal definition are two different things. Criminal definition is an armed insurrection to overthrow a power or a state body of government. That is why January 6th did not qualify as an insurrection. But the literal definition, which is to create an uprising against a federal entity or government in power, which that was, whether you like it or not, was an insurrection from the literal term, but not the criminal. The medical term of abortion is very specific, and the literal term of abortion is a little bit more broad in its aspect. But an ectopic pregnancy, a miscarriage, those are considered abortions. It is the action of stopping. Now, you can argue with me or that, get mad at me. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change the fact that all life is precious, and we should save life at all opportunity. Yep. Andrea Beal says, I had a miscarriage. They called it a spontaneous abortion, right? Which is just the action of stopping. Yes, ma'am. It doesn't mean you're evil. It doesn't mean you did anything wrong. You lost the child. It's a miscarriage. Yes. And then you were gifted 3 beautiful children by the Lord. And at that time, for some reason in your life, whether this is your Job moment, if you believe in God, or possibly it's just the stars aligned and it was in your tarot cards, or just there's no reason at all other than it just happened. We go through these trials and tribulations, and no matter what form they embody, there's lessons to be learned. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Okay? Mm-hmm. All right. Here is the debate against that, which was very interesting. Which kind of, people are asking for the link to that video. I am not going to, no offense, it's with all respect, with love in my heart, I'm not going to provide a video for people who put out something that evil. I'm doing that on this show. And if you're going to share something, clip this and show people, right? Do that we had this conversation. But I'm not going to encourage to share that without my perspective, Olivia's perspective, and your perspective, because it's important to me that way, if that's okay. Okay. Here's the abortion debate I wanted you guys to see. This is interesting.
Would you like to schedule one of those abortions today? I have seen the diagram videos where babies are dismembered. I don't believe that's true. And I've never heard of an abortion being done that way. Would you like to schedule one of those abortions today?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck it.
I gotta get an abortion, and I'm 18 weeks. Is that okay?
So this is to contradict the video. I just showed you proof of where they do flail the child and rip his skin off and procure vital necessities, whether it be stem cells, whether it be the spinal column, whether it be the placenta, whether it be the brain, the heart, whether they use it for testing. All of these things are considered.
Yeah, that's fine. That's considered 2 days of procedure.
Wait, it's a 2-day procedure, so I have to spend the night?
Yeah, it's a 2 days. Yeah, 18 and 19. Anything over 13 weeks is considered as a second trimester. Yeah.
Why do I have to spend the night? Can't you just get it out of me?
No, you don't need to stay with us. You need to go.
I can't just take a pill to get it out of me? Like, how do I get it out of me?
No, the first day the doctor evaluates you based on ultrasound, blood work, and then you'll be under sedation, and then for the laminin orientation, right in your cervix, and then you'll be under the sedation once you're fully awake. You can go home, you can go to the hotel, and you need to have someone to pick you up.
Okay.
On both days.
Okay, so it's $850.
Yes.
Do you want me to go through and make the full appointment?
You need to come back for the following.
All right, well, abortion kills a human life, and I'm very sad to do this. I hope you encourage women to go to standingwithyou.org.
I just don't think people understand. And you see a video of that, and anyone who's went to the Human Body Science Museum can just see the beauty of a child. I just don't understand. Like, yeah, there's times I really want to have a retroactive abortion and send a Terminator back and shoot Olivia when I got the kids pregnant, and so I didn't have my. No, I'm kidding. It's a joke. Yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke. But my point is, it's wrong. It's life is precious. My children are beautiful, and God, I can't imagine my life without them. And I get emotional even hearing this. That people, you killed a personality. You killed a person. You killed a person who's going to put their arms around you and kiss you on the cheek and love you and protect you. And God, what are you doing? What you had a choice. Your choice is when you opened up your legs. That was your choice. That was your pro-choice. And
that baby didn't have a choice.
No. Your choice is when you open your legs. Take some responsibility. Be an adult. Understand you made it. I had a baby out of wedlock. Ask Olivia. I paid child support for 21 years. I never missed a payment. Was never late. Ever. I did my duty. I did my job. I wanted to be a father. I didn't get it. But my gosh, I would never do those things. You know, it's just insane. Moving on. Hey, folks, we need a whole bunch of likes. We've got 102 people on in General Pop. We've got 33 over on Rumble. We've got 83 likes. We try to get to 100 likes every night. And it's not the likes that you spam right here. It's outside of the show. So on YouTube, on Rumble, we need your help. All you got to do is hit that like button. It means the world to us, and it helps viewers find us. So when you do that, they go ahead and see the algorithm's good. Now, everyone's spamming likes. That's great. That's great, but that's not outside the show. It takes just a second to go outside. So let's take a minute. Let's take a minute right now. We all hold hands. We go outside and we frolic in the woods together. And we are going to go push the button. The like button, folks. Together. So we can hit 100 likes. He's doing something to her hand there, folks. Andrea, I absolutely understand that. Like, I know I don't understand that. I'm not going to give you empathy. Sympathy is I can understand the situation of the loss of a child from a perspective to know if I lost my own, how horrible that would be. So I don't understand, but I appreciate you sharing it. I do appreciate it. 87, that's all we got. 3 people hit the like button. Okay, 88. Come on, folks. Hit it everywhere. Hit it in YouTube. Hit it in Twitter. Over on X. Hit it on Rumble.
Thumbs up on Rumble.
Over on Instagram. Over on Facebook. Facebook is where we need a lot of love. Got to get those likes up. Those likes aren't good enough. I'm going to give it a few seconds. Next one. This
only 19.
19 on Rumble. Come on, people. Come on, people now. Shine on your brother. We can get more likes than that. 89. 89. Liv, you got to help out with the likes. You got to start talking about that every 20 minutes or so. We got to push the likes on there. Black and white conversation. This is ridiculous. This is a mother, white mother, who has white kids and black kids. And she's going to tell you why it's important that she warns black kids about white people.
All right, I want to just have a quick check-in with all the white parents. White parents, how are we talking to our children who have black friends? Because the black community is talking to their children about if they can trust their white friends. So how are we as white parents talking to our white children about how they are to show up for their black friends? I had a conversation with our white son, and we also have to have conversations with our black children about potentially not trusting people who look like their parents. that those people who look just like the parents who surround them and love them might not be the safest people for.
Did you warn them about black kids who shoot them disproportionately to even the police from a ratio of like 10,000 to 1? Did you warn them about black kids shooting other black kids? Because that would be good. 10 more seconds and you got her.
To be with. They might not be the people who are going to have their backs. So white parents with white children, are you having those conversations about how your white children are going to show up and bring home their black friends?
I'm going to answer the word no to that one. How about just teaching your children and not making it about race, but teaching them to be kind human beings to everyone? And also let them know that there are bad people out there and evil people out there, and to watch out for them, not because they're black and not because they're white, but because there are people who are inherently evil. But you know what? There are people who are good too. And I have never told my children to look for the color of somebody's skin.
Nope.
Ever.
Content of their character. Isn't that what King said? You know, it's funny. Weren't we stereotyped as that when the black man would cross the street, that white people would go ahead and cross the other way? Mm-hmm. So what you're telling black kids is that when you see a white person, you should cross the street and go the other way. Isn't it funny how it all comes full circle? This is why the book Age of Enlightenment is so good, and we have to get him on. Absolutely insane. Folks, what an idiot. 94 likes. Folks, we're six away. We need 6 likes. We got to spam the like button. Spam it. Spam it. Hit it. Make it happen. Folks, I don't know if you saw this, but the Go Max retard shirts are officially in. Olivia and I love them. We don't even care if you buy them. We wanted them. In fact, I don't even know if we're ever going to sell one. I don't care. Go Max retard, folks.
Mr. Hollandaise, that's all you, dude.
Oh, holy shit. Olivia's dropping the bomb. Odyssey cringe in Hollywood. Did you hear this? Oh my God.
Okay, I just
my God.
found out that they did an Odyssey movie, but I don't know. I know nothing about it.
So Elliot Page, which is Ellen Page, who thinks that she's a guy, and like, I understand why you want to punch Dylan Mulvaney so hard in the face. I get it with Ellen Page, whatever the. God, so confusing. Oh, shush. Ellen Page is going to be in the movie Odyssey, and people have been making fun of her. Well, the final screens have been released, and people are no. Like, no. I think it's like 25,000 dislikes for every like. It's the ratio. Will you look at it? The Odyssey ratio reviews. Please look at this. It's so bad. It's so terrible that Celebrity has unified to create an Odyssey song by taking factoids, locations, verbiage from the Iliad and Homer and the Odyssey, and using it to make an amalgamation of poetic jargon based upon the show in a rhythmic pattern known as music. I know I overcomplicate things, and I don't care. I don't care. That's the way my brain works. Just deal with it. So here it is. And holy cringe, Batman. Liv?
Frickin' ChatGPT gave me a
It's
list
okay.
of where
All right,
I
here
could
we go.
look
All right,
at
that's
it.
great. All right, just look it up. Let me know. Here's the video.
Odysseus,
Telemachus, Penelope,
Antinous, Odysseus,
Athena,
Telemachus,
Calypso, Penelope,
Menelaus,
and Helen of Troy.
Odyssey,
After the Iliad,
hidden no horse,
won the war. Yeah, I'm serious.
Odyssey,
Odyssey,
itching for Ithaca,
get past the Peloponnesian Peninsula.
Odyssey,
Mediterranean,
psych out a cyclops,
and crater his cranium.
Circe is cursing them,
Men into bacon bits,
gotta go,
on the road. Head to where Hades is.
Odysseus,
Athena,
Telemachus,
Calypso, Penelope,
Menelaus,
and Helen of
we
Troy.
could be Homer, the way we go over,
The story in 6 feet.
pull a hexameter,
Call it whatever, so long as it's this beat. Sirens and suitors and suitors.
and Zilla,
Charybdis. Don't munch on the moors. But Helen, Athena, are helpful and generous.
help me get home,
To defeat that
Antinous, tell me,
muse of that hero who's
traveled so
far and so wide and his
life came
unraveled and
tell me,
muse of that hero who's
gotta be
tired as hell. All because of the Odyssey.
Odysseus,
The Odyssey.
Telemachus,
Penelope. The Odyssey.
Antinous,
The Odyssey.
Odysseus,
Athena.
Telemachus,
Calypso. Penelope. The Odyssey.
I am sick of this, of the fuckiest of this. It's so stupid. Sickiest fuckiest is my name in the Iliad. Liv, how are the reviews doing?
It says the Odyssey has 250 critic reviews on Rotten Tomatoes with a 96% tomato meter. It's 240 positive to 10 negative is what it says on here.
That's not right.
So maybe.
Go look at the... Wait, what are you looking at? Are you looking at the original?
I don't know.
You're not looking at the TV series.
Oh, it's the TV series.
I'll take care of it. Let me look. You can't put out fake news. I'll show you. Hold on. I got it.
Okay.
Okay. So the Odyssey... Oh, come on. Oh, we've actually got a screener for it. Oh, we've got a screener. Should we show it?
Yeah, why not?
I launched 1,000 ships.
Okay, here we go.
No, this is the movie
of the ancient Greek.
Go right now. Go to Rotten Tomatoes. Look up the Odyssey, the movie, not the TV series. Sorry, and look up the rating and look at the tomato meter, and then look at the critic, the people meter. Now, it could be wrong. The initial ones were so bad. Maybe I'm wrong, but people are. Here's the video trailer of Ellen Page. Just get so confused. Here it is. And people are saying Christopher Nolan sold out to Hollywood. I got to get Olivia in here. Hold on. Let me know when you're done.
Okay. 8.2 stars out of 10.
No.
Where's
I want
Rotten
the tomato.
Tomatoes?
I don't know. I want the tomato. Put it in Rotten Tomatoes. Go to the tomato meter and get the user reviews and the critics reviews. Here, let's watch this. Watch this first. Then you can do that.
You have to volunteer.
Don't you remember how I came here? I begged to take Antinous' place.
Perhaps you've heard of Helen. Face. I launched 1,000 ships. And maybe now just 500.
Wait a second. Is that Helen of Troy?
Yeah.
And she's black?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Somebody left him.
That's Helen of Wakanda.
The battlefields of Troy for that face.
For your brother's ambition. This one looks familiar.
No one is going to hurt you. My name's Eurylochus. What's your name?
And burning, screaming to the ground. Why did you have to volunteer?
Dude, I don't believe any of these ratings.
the Odyssey.
See? Are you kidding? Wait.
Mine's the trans stealth.
Yeah, it says.
The audience scores are in the Odyssey, and Rotten Tomatoes is once again manipulating the ratings. They are currently blocking negative scores. That's why. You guys, the rating was a 5.7. Kamala Harris's book had better scores than this. Now they're saying that it's a tomato meter of 97 and a popcorn meter of 96, whatever, or reversed. But the mixed average score is a 5.7. Okay, we got to watch it, right? We got to watch it. But letting you guys...
Is this going to be another Mad Max thing where I go off on a 10-minute tangent?
No, but sucked? We need to go watch a movie once in a while and do that and do a rating.
Oh, we do need to go to the Young Washington. So.
Yeah, well, that we got to do that. So, you guys, the ratings, like the pre-Odyssey ratings, it was like 25,000 to 1. Like, people shit all over this movie. And then they do what they've realized is that they reduce the negative comments and remove them. And do like a hard average of ratio. Don't tell me that's a 97. You're telling me that's on par with Breaking Bad? That's on par with Interstellar? That's on par with Schindler's List? Give me a... No.
Uh-oh, retard alert. Retard alert, class.
No. I already posted the links. I did it while we were watching.
All right, I'm sorry. I gotta go.
Helen, I love that Helen of Wakanda. That's ridiculous. That's Wakanda. Get it? All right. I can't believe that. Hey, Olivia's seen this. Let's watch. Well, listen, you guys. If I'm wrong, like I like Christopher Nolan movies. I like the Batman movies. I liked Interstellar. I love Inception. I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. When Helen of Troy is black, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I mean, that was enough with Little Mermaid. You know what I mean? Greek people are not black. Helen of Troy is not black. I don't care how all of your skin is. Greeks don't look black. Mediterranean Greek is not black. No, it's not. I'm sorry. Sub-Saharan Africa? No. Nope. Yeah, that was Ellen Page. Yeah, she's in it. I just don't understand why would you make Helen of Troy black? How stupid is that?
Why would you make Ariel from The Little Mermaid black? Why would you make James Bond a black woman? Why would you destroy all of our childhoods? Out of DEI. Seriously?
Shaniqua of Bogota makes more sense than Helen of Troy being black. I don't understand. I'm trying to. How could you possibly, even in any remote world, get to the point where you're like, I can conceptualize Helen of Troy being sub-Saharan African and a prestigious ruler of Greece? Sure. How did a black person become one of the most powerful people? What was Cleopatra, Korean? I guess it would be Cleopatra.
Cleopatra.
The only problem with having sex with Cleopatra is that you want to do it again 30 minutes later. It's like Chinese food. Oh, egg roll. So stupid. Why the fuck is Helen of Troy? I'm racking my brain on how you possibly get to that level. I know. The Persians took slaves from the Moors, took a boat to Greece in 56 BC, had copious amounts of slave sex with the royals and the spiritual leaders of Greece. A love child was born. France came in under the guise of stealing the identity, so they took the Helen of Troy white baby, sexually transitioned it into a boy, left the black Helen of Troy in place, and then later that white baby was a direct line to and became Bridget Macron, who has a penis, who Candace Owens figured it all out. There it is. I was trying
Full
to draw.
circle.
It was a hard time for me to get there.
Did you listen to the bee cult or the Egyptian plains?
Candace figured it out. We're so close. We're so close to uncovering Bridget Macron's Helen of Troy penis. Legendary Greek woman said to be the most beautiful woman in the world. She was the wife of King Menelaus of Sparta. When she left with or was abducted by Paris, I told you the French got her. Did you see? You guys don't think I read history. Did you see? I told you she was abducted by Paris. That's why I made that. You guys, you just don't know. A prince of Troy, the Greeks attacked Troy to bring her back, beginning the legendary Trojan War. She is a mythological figure, not confirmed historical person. I told you she was taken by the Macrons, later to become Brigitte Macron, the woman with a penis who took the identity of her baby sister to become a man who is a woman pretending to be a woman who is a man.
Tootsie.
But in French, which would be Tootsie.
This is dead fire.
You know what they're saying? Well, Helen of Troy was a real person, so she could be black. Really? So Zeus could be a Jewish rabbi? Shabbat shalom, motherfuckers! No? The god of thunder? I'm the god of something. I'm the god of schmeckles. 7,000 schmeckles. He throws out money.
They went from Brad Pitt playing Achilles.
Yeah, Brad Pitt and Achilles.
Ellen Page.
Brad Pitt playing Achilles is historically so much more accurate than a black woman playing Helen of Troy. That's like having a Samoan play Cleopatra. Hi, my name's Cleo. I'm done. I can't do it anymore. Damani on Ice Grandma. Here it is.
Why would we be against ICE when sanctuary is so that they can traffic the undocumented and them and use them for slave labor?
Against ICE.
Why?
Hi, Adeline.
Why would you know what the Gestapo is?
I'm telling you that I'm against sanctuary. Why would I want sanctuary? Why would I be against ICE when they are taking away people that are involved with cartel and running rings?
So you're against sanctuary cities that are trying to save people
Absolutely.
from ICE?
Why would I be pro-sanctuary when sanctuary is to traffic the undocumented?
I lost this conversation, man. Sorry.
Okay, so this is... Do you
up and meet the press? I'm done here.
Okay, so
I disagree with you. I'm sorry.
Okay, so what did Malcolm X say? As soon as black and brown
Hi, CJ.
people say anything that white liberals do not like, they don't want to hear it, which is true.
You can be different. No. Come on.
What are you telling me right now?
did.
You don't believe it. That I'm telling you, it's not helping. Every person out here is white. I'm telling you, as somebody who's
Welcome to
Spanish.
Petaluma. Unfortunately, we got a lot of white people that live here. They're all that's racist right there.
Yes, and I'm trying to tell you the truth about black and brown people, what's going on in those communities, and you don't want to hear it. You don't want to
It's
hear
all white people. Why would ICE even be coming there in the first place?
Correct.
So why are you?
And do you want to know why there's no black senior citizens there in those protests? Because black youth already shot them all.
Oh.
Fun fact.
No, I'm telling you, and you're telling me that's not true. I'm telling you, sanctuary is to traffic and the undocumented and use them for slave labor. Why would I support that?
How would we allow something like that to happen in this country?
Why do all these anti-Trump, anti-ICE, anti-common sense protests seem to cater to the same demographic? A bunch of older individuals, usually they're Caucasian individuals, and they're just out there in the middle of the day holding their little signs. Like, is this a recreational activity from...
I wish he would just say, they're all white crackers. I wish Damani would embrace his racism. Just be like, all these white uppity crackers. Just do it, D. Just do it. I love Caucasians. Stop it. He's so articulate and clean for a black man.
The older people's home, I can't quite tell, but I sense a certain demographic, and I see this all the time. And they're the ones out there, and they want to feel like they're involved in something or part of something. But she shut her down pretty brilliantly, because it's like, sanctuary cities are objectively a bad idea, and they cover up a lot of crime taking place, usually against women and children. And yet, the minute someone confronts them about their stances, they're the first ones to say, I don't believe you. But they're also the ones, amplify black and brown voices. Whoever this lady is, she did a fantastic job. We need a lot more of this energy.
Yes. Oh.
So we just got, this makes me happy. Oh, this makes me happy. You guys are going to smile too. Leroy just got to meet Tonto. I reached out to Tonto. And I said, dude, you got to meet Leroy. You're going to love him. And looks like they got to meet each other.
Leroy looks good in a beard.
Yeah, he's very happy. He said, sorry, Leroy, I'm going to out you on your text. And I never been on your show. Oh, and if I had never been on your show, I would never have had a chance to meet him. Thank you for that opportunity, man. It's like, dude, bro, no. Tonto is awesome. Isn't that great?
That's awesome.
Isn't that cool? That makes me happy. Oh, that makes me happy. He's very happy about it. That's cool. That's so cool. Even though Tonto didn't write me back. You know, the last time I started joking around with Tonto, he was like, he says something in chat. I'm like, holy shit, he's always watching. It's like Barry Morgenstein and Damani. Like, I'll say something
They stalk us.
I'll say something about Damani, and Damani's like, I'm watching you, white boy. It's like, whoops. What's up, man?
They're just lurking in the shadows.
That is so good. Leroy went to the gentleman's meeting in Ohio. We were going to go together. He was so sick, and we just didn't think he was going to make it, but he's doing mucho better. He's at 100%. He's feeling great. He called me right before the show and told me he was going to go, and the test came back. He had a full nuclear testing, and he's 100% good. They got him dialed in. It was long COVID, and he's feeling much better. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited for him that he's feeling good. I'm so glad he got to meet Tonto. That's awesome. He's a good dude. Couple more, and then we're gonna push.
I gotta go pick Hayden up in 6 minutes.
Okay, so let's do Megan versus Candace. Candace Owens is starting to go after Megyn Kelly. This should be fun. Remember Megyn Kelly? Oh, I've no reason to trample Candace. Oh, I can't wait for this cat fight. I mean, this is going to be chocolate and vanilla heaven. Here it is.
Les Mo Ritchie writes, do you think Megyn Kelly will course correct and call out the paid influencers, Jack and Benny, for blatantly lying about what they saw in court last Friday? It is shocking that she's buying the Fed slop, given that she's an attorney by trade and typically more discerning. Okay, I haven't watched because I was obviously on vacation, and then I had to play catch up and was trying to watch on vacation the trial, but I did see people pinging me about Megyn Kelly and saying she's hosting these people. Okay, I think she has a lot of background with these people, so I think she's naturally more trusting and is obviously thinking, I'm just trying to see her perspective. Maybe I'm getting a scoop to this because these people are actually on the ground, and why would these people be exaggerative? I didn't see it. They're saying this is what they saw. Why would I discount what they're saying? I don't know that she caught what then was leaked afterward about it actually just being a zoomed in version of 12.4 that they saw. I don't know what her mindset is, but what I think we can assume, and also it is good to remember, that Megyn Kelly stood up to all of these people and told the truth about what Charlie was fearing in the last days. And that was not an easy thing to do. They came after her hard. They continue to come after her hard every day, demanding that she's deplatformed for telling the most important truth. So what I can say is that I do believe that when this trial goes through, when they make the decision in September that this is going to go through and more evidence is presented, I think she will follow that because they can't hide behind, it's just going to be influencers that see it. I think she'll change her mind. I do. I think that she will change her mind. She better.
Candace is going to crush you, Megyn. She may not
be the first, but I don't think she's going to.
She doesn't know how she knows.
Influencers to inform her.
But she knows.
When the trial goes through and is approved. So I'm going to grant her that courtesy because I still think what she did was a tremendous act of bravery following the Charlie assassination. When I was swimming in people calling me a liar about the Israel thing, I feel like her and Tucker Carlson were the only two people that had the courage to tell the truth about what Charlie was going through.
This is a trap, Megyn. This is a trap. I'm letting you know. Like if it's Admiral Akbar, it's a trap. It's a trap. So Candace knows that Megyn is going to the wayward side and trying to reclaim her audience. And I'm letting you know Candace is gaslighting you. Got another update. The one thing I said, dude, you better meet Nick Freitas because Nick is someone.
Dude, get him on the show, Leroy.
He will. He probably talked to him, but I really would like to have Nick on the show. But Nick was there, and that's great to see. Looking good. Yeah, Nick's a good dude. And Tonto knows. I got to call Tonto and be like, dude, Tonto, you got to get Nick on here.
Yes.
No, Candace and Megyn are not uniting. Don't believe it, Lee. That is going to turn into a royal cat fight. Trust me. I think Megan is going to try to separate from Candace because Candace Starr is on the drop. I mean, she's looking like an absolute clown, and a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, are finally turning against her, and all of them are a bunch of shills. Candace is sucking up to Megan now because Megan's pulling away, and Candace is losing her base. So Candace is trying to seem grounded and fair. She'll turn against Megan, and she'll backbite her any minute. If Megan doesn't swear fealty to Candace and start espousing the same things of defending Candace again, she's cooked. You have to understand, Candace and Megan share audience. They share market share. And if they want to support each other so they don't literally cannibalize each other's audiences. This is all about clicks. This is a motion for clicks. That's all it is. One last one. Well, let's just do this. We've got we had a good show. We need to get Freitas on here. Love him. Love Freitas. And reach out to Tonto. Thank you guys for hitting overtime. We crushed it tonight. What a great night. It was awesome. I'll give you guys a quick update on the vote. If I can see it, my contacts are not being my friends.
There you go.
Thanks. Yep. Can't see shit.
Welcome to getting old.
Yep. So we are at a solid 82. So I think, excuse me, 83. So I think we're going to call it on the petition. I think it will probably be our last night doing it. I don't know if they're going to keep it open any longer. Want to say thank you guys very much for watching the show. We appreciate it. Olivia is going to walk you through real quick who is going to be here coming up in the short term.
Yep. So next Tuesday, Lisa Regina will be here. Barry Morgenstein next Friday, the 28th, John David Gregory. Friday, the 31st, Christopher Martini. August 5th, Tyler Fisher. And then that Friday, August 7th, will be Damani. And then we have got another jam-packed August full of a bunch of people.
Olivia is going to take off because she's got to go get Hayden, but I am going to finish overtime. Livy,
love y'all.
I
See
love
you on
you.
Monday.
See you, baby, and have a fun one. And we're going to take it till 9:30 because that's what we promised to do. So let's go ahead and do it. Got a couple other ones. Let's see. Oh, Declaration No More. This is interesting. This is going to point out. Just listen to it. This is where the socialists are today. Not only, and they're not hiding this anymore. They want to absolve the Constitution. They want to literally give everything away for free. They want 100% government takeover of all means of production and redistribution. This is where we're at, folks. This socialism push is no longer a joke. These people are gaining speed fast in this country, which is just insanity. Here it is.
This is the 250th anniversary of
Really?
the Declaration of Independence. This
Really?
is quote unquote America's birthday. And
Okay, well, we're not going to do this one because it's too damn quiet. This idiot right here is Linda Sarsour. She is a political activist. She is a member of the DSA. She is also running for office, and she wants to abolish the Constitution. Good luck, lady, over my dead body. Here is the main... Remember, now that Graham Plattner is out of the race, we now have the main debate candidates all vying for his empty seat to go after and try to take the Republican who is currently in place, which is Susan Collins, I believe. So this is the panel, folks. I can't make this any more clear that this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, especially the person on the right. Listen to this.
So what qualifications do you have to serve in the U.S. Senate?
Oh, I ran for office several times. Didn't win, but I did run. And then I'm a songwriter, and then I write my own books.
Why is it always failed musicians or socialists? On my page, if you guys see this, it's the most ridiculous thing in the world. Every time someone's defending socialism, it's always a failed musician. This looks like Meatloaf's mom. Meatloaf's mom. Here it is. Fat Outta Hell. What a great album.
And then I'm a songwriter, and then I write my own books, and then I suppose my transparency, I wouldn't lie to the people and I wouldn't deceive the people like we're being deceived right now. Like
that you're a woman?
We get lied to, smoke and mirrors, like what's going on with ICE. Pretending like these victims did something wrong. Like that's unacceptable. And I suppose the biggest thing is like I'm just an angry citizen now, and if I got elected, I'd be an angry senator, and I think that would probably be their worst nightmare.
Wow, thank you for not deceiving us and letting us know straight up that you're a retard.
Wank!
It was at this moment that Nathan knew. He fucked up.
Are you serious? Yep. Holy shit.
Maine, what the hell is going on with Maine? Maine's got some serious problems. Holy shit. Here's David Goggins. This is a good one. I'm really, David is somebody I want to get on Nick Freitas, and I would love to get David Goggins on, both of them. Here is David Goggins talking about men, and he's always good. A little bit of language. Goggins is very much a sailor, and he uses colorful metaphors to paint his poetic tapestries of inspiring thought. His books are amazing. He's amazing. I love the guy. He's a straight shooter. He cusses a little bit. You're going to have to deal with it. But watch this.
So it's a choice that people have to make in life. But what's so funny about it is even the richest of rich, who have everything, they always ask me this question. I feel like I'm missing something. I don't feel like I'm missing shit. I don't have what you all have, but you'll never in my life hear me tell you I'm missing something. Everybody is. They're missing this feeling. I found it a long time ago. I found it right there in that willpower thing. When you're nothing, and change yourself into something like me, you call it happiness, peace, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Confidence.
People are missing exactly what went on with David Goggins.
Yep.
Why don't you smile? I do. But I figured something out. That's why you'll never hear me say I'm missing something. I found it years ago. You find it in the suck.
Cool.
You find it in the suck, and you find it repeatedly in the suck. To
Embrace
the point
the
where you know
suck.
exactly who you are. Most people are missing something because they don't know who they are.
That's correct.
They never examine themselves. They've never done this experiment on themselves. The lab rat, we're all lab rats, but you're also the scientist. You create your own self. Most people are missing something because there's so much trapped in there. I don't even want to say potential. I think that's a word used out too much too. There's so much in you that God or wherever the hell you believe in, or if you're an atheist, in you that you have not unlocked. That you walk around with this gorgeous wife or great husband and all this money. You're like, God, I feel like I'm missing something. Yeah, because it's about 75% of you is still fucking in there. Still chained up because you just didn't want to find your willpower. Didn't want to find your soul, your will, your heart, your determination, your guts, your courage. And what that looks like, it looks scary. Like your little scary lab I went in. Scary. To wake up every day and say, I'm stupid, but I want to figure out a way to be smarter. Versus saying, man, I just can't do that. So you limit this box. So your box becomes so small of things you can do. My box wasn't even a box. It was a fucking little pinhole. And then through examining myself, getting some willpower, some courage, it became bigger than this table. But that's what we all do. That's why I wanted to come here today and talk to you about real shit. Not no fucking like hacks. There's no hacks, bro. It's you against you. You against you. And if you misunderstand that, you have a real problem. A real problem. I can understand you misunderstand me running down the street, shirt off, fuck this, no, yeah. I can get it. I get it. If you misunderstand what I'm saying right now today, The problem is you, and you don't want to fix it.
I cannot tell you how incredibly honest and accurate that is. I wish that I could tell you that I am as successful as David Goggins, which I'm not. I can tell you that I'm smarter than Goggins. I'm not. That I'm physically more fit than he is. I'm not saying that either. What I am going to say is that what he is talking about is something that I unlocked a long time ago. And I think it was absolutely in boot camp in the day that I realized.
It was at this moment that Nathan knew he fucked up.
And that little boy had to become a man. And I embraced the process or the suck. And I decided that every single thing I was going to do in boot camp, I would do with excellence. Shining my shoes, I would have a mirror. You would be able to shave on my boots, and you could. That the creases in my shirt would be absolutely razor blades. That every angle on my bed frame would be true 45s. If you wanted to go ahead and measure, you could. That you could bounce a quarter on my bed if you wanted to. That every single t-shirt would be absolutely perfectly in line. Every sock, every locker, perfect. Every push-up would be done to the fullest extent, no matter how tired I was. Didn't matter. I just embraced it. I embraced the process. And I came out different. Physically, mentally, metaphysically, anatomically, existentially, however you want to play it. And it opened up my mind to be able to comprehend and understand things I had never done before. And I literally felt like I was on the tower of testing. And I was reaching out and pulling the universe towards me for the first time ever in my life. That my sheer willpower was able to pull fragments of information to formulate the enigma that was the puzzle, that was the riddle, that was the crib key to my codex. And ever since that time, I was successful in everything I tried to do, even if I failed, because I didn't accept it. I didn't care what it was. I don't care if it was learning HTML. I didn't care whether it was lifting weights. I didn't care whether it was running or swimming. I didn't care whether it was becoming a vice president or being the best at waiting tables or being the best lover that I could. Or it didn't matter. It did not matter. It came down to there's something that I wanted to do, and I was going to sample it. I was going to taste it. I was going to perfect it and then repudiate it out of my life, or literally make it a symbiotic, living and breathing organism within my structure, no matter what it was. This podcast is a perfect example of that. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. It was a black and white picture with a shitty camera during COVID. And how many producers do you have? How many writers do you have? Are you kidding me? Let's see. Hold on. All the departments. Oh, geez. One? And it's always been a team of one. And not only is that team of one for me, I hand that person out to my friends and people who are on the show. Oh, you like the shirt? You like this, Cass? The Go Max retard shirt, Candace? It's for sale. I love it too. It's funny. Shirt design, something I didn't know how to do. I didn't know how to draw these things. I didn't know how to do these arts. I had no idea how to do the artwork for this. I taught myself. That's what we do. You learn, you embrace, you adapt, you overcome. Darwinism, Chi, all that shit. Or Tai Chi, all that shit. Once you find it, it's you and everybody else. You don't fucking care. And you learn a form of mental kung fu that is unbeatable. You can dox me. You can get on here. You can insult me. You can do whatever you want to try to do. Have you guys noticed that every single person who tries to troll this site, it's like throwing themselves up against the rocks, and I just let them continue to smash themselves until they poof. It doesn't matter who it was, the groypers or stupid trolls. They smash themselves up against here, trying so hard to get me to have a bad day or put me in a bad mood or ruin. No, because they're the reason I'm here. I'm here to change minds. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to give as much honest truth that I can from an anecdotal perspective, from an exculpatory standpoint, and provide it to the best ability that I can. And you can't break me down. You can't. People try to come after. Oh, you live in a trailer. Okay, here's my house. Holy shit, that's what. Never mind.
Are you serious? Yep. Holy shit.
Your view sucks. Your wife's ugly. Okay, here you go. Your kids are retarded. Well, actually, no. Ethan just got top 25% in math in the whole United States. That's not bad. You've never done anything in your life. Oh, really? Here you go. You've never seen anything. Oh, okay. Here you go. You can't, when somebody has so much confidence that it's no longer transcending into arrogance, it's a state of flux, man. It is just, it's a constant. They cannot lose. They cannot fail. They will not allow it to happen. And that's whether it's marriage or being a father or a podcaster or an executive or a writer. It does not matter. Stop. Yeah, Ethan got top 25% in the United States. They wanted to move him into algebra, and we said no. We stay in pre-algebra. Then you'll be the top 15% in the United States when you're done with that. But you can't allow people to control you. And once you figure out that there's nothing they can say, they can call you names, they call you stupid, call you fat, call you ugly. Doesn't matter. There's nothing you can say. Because the one thing you can't do is prove me wrong. So prove me wrong. Bring it. Come prove me wrong. It's amazing when you don't spend time lying, when you don't spend time making shit up, and you just stick to the facts. You just stick to what you know and be consistently aware of what you don't know, you'll be successful. Here's the follow-up to that video of Goggins. That masculinity is back.
It seems, I could be overstating, that masculinity is back. Young guys are finding their voice again. They're showing up, not always in comfortable or well-dressed or mannered ways, but they're willing to allow their voices to be heard again.
Amen. Amen. I agree with you. It is amazing how it's happening. And I'll tell you just my personal reaction about that. Yeah. So again, I grew up not only with an amazingly gentle and powerful father, but an amazingly tough and elegant mother. She was very much like Julie Moore. And I always grew up with the belief that a man respecting women was the most masculine man there could be. I was doing a charity screening of Braveheart in Austin, Texas, about 10, 15 years ago. And it's the first time I'd seen the movie screened in a decade or more. Wow. And I watched it as an audience member. And then I went up on the stage to do a Q&A with the audience. I walk up there, and I was moved by the movie, to see it in that way. And the first one to stand up was a 19-year-old woman right on the front row. And she stood up and said, "Mr. Wallace, I don't have a question. I just want to tell you something. My fiance died 6 months ago. And before he died, he told me he wanted me to watch Braveheart so I would understand the way he loved me." I couldn't talk for about 5 minutes. It was such a powerful example to me that strong women want strong men, and strong men want strong women. Strong doesn't mean overly macho. It doesn't mean trying to prove yourself. But I, to this day, and I always will, and I've taught my sons, you open doors for ladies, not because they're weak, but because you're telling them, you're honoring them. And that's what you do. And they hear that. My youngest son has picked up a habit from me that when I meet a woman that I think is due honor, I will kiss her hand. And invariably, it makes them glow. And he does it too. And I was like, yeah, that's how you treat a woman. So yeah, I want to see men valued and no society that doesn't see a man as an honorable creature, and not that a man has to be like a woman, but a man has to share the heart of a woman. Like
So it's interesting when you see the opposite and see someone like David Goggins who tells you you can separately be and establish your identity because it's you and you alone. And then you got this guy who's telling you that it's required to be attached to another person in order to find out who you are. It is completely diametrically opposed, and I completely disagree with him on this. I don't think that's masculine at all. Finding out who you are as a man, it truly has to start with surrounding yourself with other guys. And you have to build those relationships of understanding what it takes to be a man before you get to that other place. Because ultimately what that leads to, and I'm not saying that you don't find a way to build a relationship with a woman that can help you identify who you are, but that's posthumous from this. It comes to the afterthought. It's not before that. And the reason why is because if you build a relationship with friends, if you build a relationship with men, whether it's some sort of camaraderie, whether it's sports, whether it's the military, whether it's at work or having a few pops after work and drinking some beers, whatever it is, you are not interdependent. Those are interchangeable relationships that can be replaced and fulfilled by others. But if you literally tie your entire existence to your wife or your girlfriend at the time, and then that relationship does not work out, you literally lose your identity. How stupid is that? It doesn't make sense. When you go ahead and try to extend yourself and attach it to another person to find your identity. I'm not saying that building a relationship with somebody is not important and it's not paramount and it can't elevate who you are. But if you don't understand who you are as a man or as a woman, and you don't understand the relationship that you have on what your DNA is, what your drive is, and you can't identify your shortcomings and your strengths through your own perception, attaching that through somebody else and attaching your identity is renting time. Renting time. And when you look at movies like Braveheart, or you look like at any of those type of things, especially when it comes to like William Wallace and that story, which historically is not accurate. But when he first meets the love of his life, is that young girl, gives him the thistle, the purple flower, is he would pull her hair and was tumultuous and kind of off base and was like most kids, fumbled through it. He had to go and learn who he was. And you remember when his Uncle Angus came down and he said, You know, do you know how to read and write? And he's like, we'll remedy that. And taught him Latin and taught him Spanish and French and taught him the arts and language. And you remember what he says? He's like, first you learn to use this, and then I'll teach you to learn this. And he hands him and talks to him, shows him the broadsword. And it's an interesting thing when you think about it, because he's telling him, before you learn how to be a warrior, you're going to be a poet. And I think that's exactly what true masculinity is that you understand who you are as a man, what your role is as a man, whether it be chivalry or honesty or commitment or loyalty. You must have those things towards yourself and make them a part of your being before you start imposing yourself onto other people. So, although I appreciate his sentiment that women are important, they are, at 120%, I think they make men better. They teach them another side that they don't understand yet, but they first must understand who they are and what their responsibility is before they go and present it and try to couple that with another human being who may also not understand their role and who they are. That is what femininity and masculinity is to me. And it's why there's gaps in the understanding of what it is. You've got a troll on Rumble right now who's, you know, this guy's listening to Arroyo. No, you didn't even listen to my commentary in the video. You assumed that I agreed with what they said. I didn't. In fact, it was diametrically opposite of that. I said the exact opposite to that. But these are what trolls do. See, they live vicariously through others' discomfort. And I don't have any discomfort. You don't know anything about me. And although my views on Rumble may not be great, and yes, I've been doing this show forever, my goal is, and my vision of success has nothing to do with how many views I get. That's your vision of success. Because views, I've got 126 million on Facebook. You know what that gets me? $4.25, unless I know how to turn that into revenue, gets me a cup of coffee. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. Views are not my... Rumble is not my goal. Rumble is a channel that I use that I want to see grow, but has certainly not grown the same way that Facebook has or YouTube has or Instagram has. I want it to. I want X to do the same, but it's not doing it either. And unfortunately, that could be a lot of things. Maybe the content isn't good enough. That's possible. Maybe it's me. That's also possible. Maybe Rumble is for younger generations. Maybe Rumble has established their hierarchy and have their top 100 channels and don't have the bandwidth to go ahead and continue to support other channels, so they're found on their own organically, which takes longer times. Who knows? But we all know who the trolls are, and they're always consistently the same people. It's always the same people. So trying to take your own inequity and project it onto me is interesting. That you say, well, this show isn't successful, or it's not addicting, or the numbers aren't there, but you're always here. And you replicate yourself on multiple channels to try to make it seem like there's more negativity than there actually is, when we know what happened when you came on live. You just embarrassed yourself. And whether it be the Groypers or the gay Ontario Canadian who hates Jews, you just constantly embarrass yourself. And it's so easy to identify you. You're the same people over and over and over again. And although you project that you're a masculine person, yet you repudiate women. And you're insoles because you're not capable of having a relationship with a woman because you're too shallow and weak-willed. You're not able to have dialogue with a person you want to obviously seek their approval, but you don't know how because you're emasculated. And you're not masculine. You're feminine. That confuses you. You have problems with your own father, your own mother, because they want you to be something that you're not. And you're going to have to find it on your own. You're not going to get it through me. You're not going to get it through a woman. You're not going to get it through a man. You're not going to get it through Nick Fuentes. And you're not going to get it through hating Jews. It's going to take real life experiential learning to make you realize that your weakness and depravity and the things that you dislike so much about me are really you just looking in the mirror. Your jealousy is laughable. And it's ineffectual. Because it doesn't matter whether I had 5,000 people on Rumble right now or 50,000 people on, you would still find something that you dislike in yourself to project onto me. And you can't touch me. You just can't do it. You don't have the ability. You don't have the capability. You don't have the skill set. You can try. You've done it before. You've called in. And it's been an embarrassment for you. You stuttered and couldn't complete a sentence. But it's always nice to see you. Matt, please read chapter 1 or 2 of the book right behind you, Liturgies of the Wild. What makes you assume that I didn't? I'm going to finish the Age of Entitlement, then I will. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Seriously. Tammy, I get it. I've been drawing trolls. Listen, the live show is probably one of the most aggravated and difficult algorithms to crack outside of podcasting. Now, the funny thing is nobody talks about the podcast. Nobody talks about the podcast itself and where it's ranked. It's been ranked up from 15 to top 25 on political news. I think we just reached our 1.5 million downloads on our podcast since it started. Our podcast is extremely successful. A lot of people listen to it. A lot of people download it. They listen to the full 2 hours every single day, and they keep coming back. That does really well. That's a tough nut to crack. And it happens. Growth is... I wish growth was exponential. I wish there was going to be 1 million Sean Ryans and 1 million Candace Owens out there. But then again, I don't want 1 million Sean Ryans and 1 million Candace Owens out there. And what comes down is that comparison is the killer of creativity and initiative. I'm not going to compare myself to Candace Owens. I'm not going to compare myself to Crowder or Ben Shapiro in any way, shape, or form. I would love to have a conversation with any of those guys. But I can't compare myself to them. Just like the Pee Wee football team doesn't get to compare themselves to the New England Patriots. That's not my target. Those aren't my horizons. My horizons is to successfully build a career off doing this, which has been achieved. And now it is growth, not exponential growth, because that's not going to happen unless a black swan event happens. It's slowly creating a brand. And what's funny is the magnetism of the brand is growing. And although you might not see it from viewership of people who sit here, because maybe it's not their cup of tea, maybe it's not interactive enough, or maybe I'm not entertaining enough. But that doesn't mean that the magnetism of the show isn't strong, because it's pulling in extremely intelligent and well-rounded people, from guests to viewers. And these viewers are looking for something. So it could just be that it's possible that my time isn't now, my time is later. Maybe people aren't seeking the type of show that I provide right now, but that doesn't mean that that's not going to be something different 5 years from now. And I think if you ask Sean Ryan or Joe Rogan or any of the major successes, Crowder and Shapiro and Charlie Kirk, that there was a time that they continued to trudge through the monotony and crawled through the proverbial river of shit just to get clean on the other side. And when it finally took place or finally happened, monumental success was not defined by the amount of clicks or the amount of viewers that they had, but their own personal gratification for the work that they're doing. And I can tell you, I am far beyond that capacity of where I expected to be. So once again, sling your arrows, douchebag. You can't touch me. You never have been. You can't speak to my level. You can't engage in the conversation at my level. You don't beat me physically. You certainly don't beat me from an attractive standpoint, because I'm a wordsmith and I'm handsome and I'm charming as fuck. I know those things about myself. More importantly, I'm better than you, and stick your head in doo-doo, nana nana boo-boo. Matt, after 50 Shades and Magic Mike, my wife shook a boy out of me after 3 girls now, ladies. That's great. That's what my wife did to me. I had to go on vitamin supplements with 50 Shades. What book did you... Is this the book that was sent to me, by the way? Kimberly Ann? I need to read it. I've had this very long list, and I've had a lot of guests to read the book. I'm not forgetting in any way, shape, or form. You know what? I'm waiting for Liv to come home anyway. Interesting. It felt like I'd never seen a real human being before. An old man pointed his ceremonial pipe at the rain clouds and started addressing them as if they were dear friends. I can't quite explain why this reduced me to rubble. He spoke gently to the great canopy of sky above us. He wasn't worshiping, but he was certainly negotiating. He was encouraging the clouds to move along. After a few minutes, he turned to me and spoke. Okay, that's enough from me. You actually come from here. Charm them. They're listening. I like the flow of the writer. It's definitely in my pentameter. I'll give it some proper exfalcation and exploration this weekend. I promise you I will. I'll let you know. I've thought about trolling you, Matt, just to get a rise out of you, but since it's been 4 years now, there is no way you wouldn't know I was just effing with you. Yeah, sometimes the trolls think, did you notice how they all went away, Tammy? And a squid. That's true. I am a squid. I'll read it. I have not heard from my daughter that's in the Navy for 114 months. She's on a special assignment for 4 years. 14 months. Okay, I was like, holy shit. She's been 10
Are you
years.
Serious? Yep. Holy shit.
10-year special assignment ain't very special. That's a long time, 14 months. Yeah, that makes sense. I will absolutely read it. Matt would make a good AI narrator. Yeah. Well, listen, I appreciate the dialogue. I appreciate the viewers over on Rumble. I appreciate the viewers over on YouTube and Facebook. You didn't see a troll? Oh, he was there. They parted. We all know who. It's the same troll. Let me ask you a question. Do we really feel that a show that doesn't have that many viewers would have a varying degree of trolls? Why would that make sense? See, they out themselves because of they're mentally retarded. If a show doesn't have a lot of viewers and it's the same person who always says the same things who's the troll, then it would be fairly obvious that it's the same troll frequenting different sites. Wouldn't we think so? Holy shit.
Are you serious? Yep. Holy shit.
Folks, thanks for watching the Donut From Me Show. I love you guys. Thanks for being a part of this. Thanks for being a part of the show. We're going to have a good weekend. And then, go Max Retard. Go Max Retard. I'm surprised I didn't say anything about Jews. Jew lover. Oh. Yes. Have you seen Jewish women? Are you fucking kidding me? I married a little Natalie Portman, Sandra Bullock looking chick for a reason. I love Jewish women. Was it John Balls? I don't know. I don't really care. I do want to say thank you to Robert Marlar for donating $20. Robert, hey, Liv, can you put Robert in real quick for me? I remember when you would go after them hard. I still, listen, I don't need to anymore. All it does is turn off our listeners, and God knows they made that point that I've got to be careful. Well, Brian, it's interesting. There have been nights where we have had it. You know, the funny thing is I looked at how slow we are. It's not as slow as you think it is. The other show the other night, that wound up going to 7,600 views, which isn't a lot. But for having supposedly 40 people on, I think we get throttled a lot on our numbers. I really do. Thank you, Robert, $20. But the live show is an acquired taste. I don't know, man. I look at the numbers. I go and look at Tim Pool, and Tim Pool over on Facebook will have 27, 28 people on. It's weird. It's just weird. I'm done trying to get to understand it. Yet we raised $421 in donations. So you know what? I don't give a shit. If this is what we do for the rest of our existence, then this is great with me. I don't really care. My job is not to get rich off of this. My job is to continue to do something that I love and I agree with. But me going after the trolls, I've done it. But I'm going to dive into it. As soon as I get done with Enlightenment, I got to read. I will read this. Entitlement, Age of Entitlement. Okay. Tammy, where are we going tonight, hon? Oh, Tam, I'm so sorry to hear about Dan. Is that Dan Nunn's dog? That sucks. Oh, thanks, by the way, for handling it. Frederick, tell him what happened. Tell him what I said. Dude, whenever I see the trolls go after my people, I crush them. It's just full tilt. Full tilt. Frederick's going to tell you what I said. Don't get yourself in trouble. I think I PG'd it. Oh, I appreciate you, Robert, very, very much. It means the world. Thank you. Rating to Common Censored for Friday Funcast. All right, so we're going to go over to Common Censored. Give me, Tammy, just give me a couple minutes. I always just want to see what Frederick says. Frederick, are you going to tell him what I said on that post? Somebody basically went after Frederick, and I think I said something about... Oh, I can't remember what I said. It was funny, though. It was good. I don't think they came back. See, this is the thing. Trolls don't come back. I wish, you know... I wish, you know what I wish more for anything for this show is it's certainly not live views. I don't care about that. You know what? I think we're there. What I love is that people come back. And when the people watch the show, they come back. And more importantly, I like the fact that the guests appreciate the show. Ryan Weaver said, it's a show with extraordinary reach. And I was like, what? Really? You think so? People's perceptions are usually loftier than they really are. And that means the world to me, because that means people find value in the show. Can you tell me if I'm donating monthly? Sure. Do you want me to... Thanks, Riley. Well, we'll get better in time. We'll figure out our pace. But it's amazing. Whenever there's an emergency and a crisis, right here. People come here. You guys know how many times when there's a Black Swan event and you guys will see 700-800 people on here because it's something serious, whether it was the Iran breakout, Ukraine, or President Trump, or Charlie being shot. You guys remember when Charlie was shot? We had like 1,700 people on. You can go after Matt. He can handle it himself. Come after my chat. I'll annihilate. Yeah, I don't give a shit. It's just like, bring it on. Bring it on. They're over in Rumble. Well, I'm glad I reached your heart, CJ. That's important. Frederick says lost you. All right, let's go. We got to go. I got to get out of here. Let's go. Let's kick it off. Let's head on over to Rumble, and we're going to... Where the fuck are we going again? Common Censored? Robert, yes or no? I think it's a yes. I think it's a yes, but if you need to make it no, just let me know and I'll turn it off. I think it's a yes, buddy. But I can fix that if you want me to turn it off. Oh, that's right. I had some choice words about his husband. That's yeah, yeah, I know. Robert, I think that's a yes, pal. But I will make sure if you want me to, and you can give me a call or email me, Matt at the Dumb Show. Okay, I'm trying to find this. Go to address. That's so much easier. Can you do that from now on? That is so much easier doing that. Thank you. All right, let's go on over here.
I think I can. I just bought my niece that book, 90th anniversary edition. Oh! Arm the battlements, man the parapets. We may have an incoming raid from the Don't Unfriend Me show, the Dumb Show. Melanie M5 in the chat. Heralding a raid. Uh-oh. Launch the cows, ladies and gentlemen. The Dumb Show has raided the broadcast. Let's see what they're up to today. Boom! The Dumb Show. Keely Novello, former rep Candace versus Kelly, Pride Police, Anti-Ice, Grandma. Looks like a fun show today. Launch the cows, ladies and gentlemen. The Dumb
video
Show
inception over here.
has raided.
There we go. Now I can't hear him. It's going to echo. What's up, dude? We always take 5 minutes and see which channels we're rating that Tammy sends us over to. So thanks for watching. We appreciate you very, very much. I think this is our second or third time raiding you. So we'll throw you a big like and continue to follow you. Sorry that I can't have you on audio. We'll have to hook up someday.
Broadcast. What's up, bro? Boom. Thanks so much for the raid. Make sure to go on over here and subscribe to the Don't Unfriend Me show. I'll copy the link to the broadcast, to the channel. Paste it in the chat right now for you. Thanks so much for the raid, man. We were just watching a video of a little miniature train.
Those things are awesome.
Welcome, dummies. The dummies are here, says Chaos Girl. Thanks for the raid. And I was just thinking, man, it'd be so much cooler if it had this for the soundtrack. Quad City DJs. Right?
All right, guys. Happy Friday. Happy Red Friday. Take care of each other. We will see you guys next week. Trolls keep trolling. Lovers keep loving. Haters keep hating. And Candace keep being a crazy-ass biznatch. We'll see you guys later. Good night.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.